What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday. Look at that. My voice doesn't suck this week. It's great. It actually doesn't sound terrible. We're actually over being sick. So we're going to have a full 2-hour live stream. I'm just going to do a TikTok live of bowling on HBO, and we will pop that up as well. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Hope you guys are having a good week, having a good Wednesday. We are here in Minnesota. It's weird. We got 2 feet of snow 3 days ago, and now it's 50 degrees outside, and I had the windows open. Minnesota makes no sense, but we are here talking everything bowling. We've had so much happen as per usual over the last couple of weeks. So we have a lot to go through. We want to answer all of your guys' questions that you guys have. We have a PBA event going on right now. We just had the second highest match ever thrown on a title match, second highest game series combined score thingy going on. We have a lot of really cool things going on. We have Fef hanging out in the chat right now. Zach was kind enough to interview with us on Ipsia's Hot Topics. Yeah, Ipsia and Fef invited me on to talk everything and anything bowling balls. That was super fun. Our favorite topic over here is to talk about everything bowling balls. So huge thank you to Ipsia and Fef for having me over. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks in the bowling world. So I want to go through it. I want to help answer your guys' questions. We're in peak season of tournaments. So I want to be able to answer a lot of questions you guys have on all of your tournaments going on. If you have bowling balls you're looking at, I just had a controversial video go live saying you probably don't need a urethane ball. So I want to answer your guys' questions on that because there was a lot of confusion on it. And I'm going to have to make some extra videos to try to help out in that regard. But I'm very glad you guys are here. We have a couple cool sponsors I'll be mentioning once in a while. We have bowling.com over there, G Fuel over there. We got Turbo down there. I'm running out of room on my page. I got to have like a floating thingy. We got Spareware, ZVL for 10% off, Apparel EFX, ZVL Bowling for 10% off. And like I said, I have Turbo right now. They actually sent me this awesome quarter zip. Turbo has been incredible to work with so far. Personally, I just drilled a Storm Next Factor, so I can talk a little bit more about that ball now because I got that ball for 130 bucks on bowling.com. I think it's still on sale. Pretty sure that ball is still super cheap. Let me open bowling.com quick. Oh yeah, it's still $130. So if you want an X Factor, this is going to be one of the cheapest prices we see. So they have a lot, which is awesome. But we have a lot of cool things. So let's get it going. Remember, we try to answer every single question that you guys have on here. If I don't answer it, and if I skip over it on accident, wait like 3 or 4 minutes and then just retype it and I should get to it. I usually get about 20 minutes behind on chat, but I do want to answer as many questions as I can. That's our goal here. We don't delete questions. We don't skip questions over here on this podcast. What we do is we answer everything you guys have. So without further ado, where are we at? Who was the first in chat today? It was the Professor Turtle Guy. Professor Turtle Guy being the first one in chat. Congratulations, Turtle Guy. You still are one of the best names on our YouTube, so love that for you. Also, for the record, just before we get any further, I am live on 4 different platforms right now. I'm live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and TikTok. So I know down there on the long form platforms doesn't look the best, but apologies for that. But let's move this. I really can't. Okay. I guess I got to keep it where it is right now. Maybe if I just move a little more this way, we're going to be centered. There we go. That's better. All right. Tyran, what's going on? Jake, Fast, Jim Cushman, what's going on, man? 5th one in the chat, 6th one in the chat. Yeah, Turtle Guy was here at 12:45. Johnny, Guardian, Jeff, Brian, Billy, Vito, Buds, DeJoe, Don, Submarine, Mike, Aaron, Lindy, Thomas, Beth, Steve, same Steve, different Steve, slightly different Steve. Wow, those are really close names. That's Stephen Lennon. We have Steve on in above him. We have Brian again, Aaron again, Corey, Brian again, Mixtape. What's going on, Mixtape? Congrats on the Turbo sponsorship. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. We got a lot of people hopping in. So huge thank you, guys. Let's dig right into our questions, see what we've all got going on. Colin, first a question of the day from TikTok. Any help? I might bowl in my first tournament in a month or 2. Remember, tournaments, the biggest problem that people have when they get in their first couple of tournaments is they take it way too seriously and they psych themselves out. Remember, keep throwing decent shots, keep hitting the pocket, keep picking up your spares, have a game plan going into it, see what you can do. Tournaments are always a fun thing to get into. After you go through 3 or 4 of them, you start getting your feet under you and you'll be good to go. Keep your expectations, at an okay spot. Don't make them too high for tournament number 1. That's always an issue that happens with some people is they think, I'm going out and I'm winning my first tournament. And then they get slapped in the face because tournament bowling is way different than league bowling in scores wise. But actual regular, like it is just bowling overall. Remember that. But let us see. Mike, Kaiko had the front 10 in game 2. Of course he did. There are so many 300s today. It's like they're bowling on a house shot. Like they're bowling on a super hard pattern for most people, but it is one of the easier patterns that they've got. So you're seeing some crazy high scores in the PBA today. Steve has it 88 degrees today. Man, I'm sorry for that. That sounds rough. That's brutal. 88 degrees? Jeez. Tough. We only had, 2 feet of snow Sunday was way more fun than that. Oh, God, Minnesota's fun. Let's see, Broctimus Prime. I love that name. With a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I shot my first 300 last Friday in League using a Motive Shadow Tank. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Congrats on the first 300, man. That is an incredible accomplishment, especially with a ball like the Shadow Tank. That's kind of crazy. That's awesome, though. Congratulations. Keep it going, man. Remember, if you guys do want to jump the line in all your questions, make sure it doesn't get missed. Super chats are always appreciated, always helpful, and they'll be priority questions if you do a super chat. So always remember that as well. But remember, if you don't do not give if you don't have the money for it. Please do not give to content creators if you don't have the money for it. Just do not do that. Don't do what God, what's his name? Who's the dude who does the subathons? Oh, Kai Cenat. Don't do what some of his guys do, and I promise I'll be a little more appreciative than he is. Steven, can't wait to get my Spareware merch. I have a package from Spareware that I'm going to be making into a video right after this, actually. Ryan, Missouri is -20 yesterday, 70 and sunny today. Of course, that's disgusting. Aaron, is it possible to have all 5 ions in the bag? So we have 5 different ions that are out there right now in the world. We have the Ion Pro Solid, Ion Max, Bionic, Ion Max Pearl. Can you have all 5? I do not recommend it. I think you could have Ion Max is in its own category. I think Ion Max Pearl is in its own category. And then I think between the Bionic, the Ion Pro Solid, and the Ion Pro, you only really need 1 or 2 of those. I think they're just a little too close together to have all of them. It's just not really worth it in a lot of ways. So that's what I would recommend. Corey, keep doing a good job. Thank you. Have you been getting my questions? You haven't responded in over a month. I have no ideas if you can see them. Where have you sent them, Corey? Have you sent them on email? No, I'm pretty caught up on most places. So let me know where you're sending them. It might be getting lost in a filter somewhere. Brian, I heard PBA Regional last week prohibited Columbia balls from being used. Many bowlers were shocked at the timing. Couldn't replace spare balls in time. No, that's been a thing since January 1st. So for anyone who's on the PBA Regional Tour, they received emails and messages about it. So that is not a PBA issue. That's them not being up to speed on the rules of the tournament. So Columbia balls haven't been allowed in 2026. Brunswick did not certify Columbia for its bowling balls to be thrown on the PBA Tour, Regional Tour, Senior Tour, or National Tour. And they did that expecting this current situation to happen. Hey, so bored with the let them cook. Thank you. Thank you. So they were expecting the Columbia 300 thing, so they didn't certify. They didn't pay the money. So yeah, you haven't been able to throw them all year. So that is not on the PBA. That's actually on those bowlers. So that's a goof up on their part. Let's see. Steve, urethane for low rev on Sport Shot League. Worth it. She has a purple, was thinking concept. If you have low rev and low speed potentially, but I think just a smoother reactive ball might do a little better for her, because if you're low rev, urethane is iffy. It's not going to carry very well compared to reactive. Lower rev guys are going to like reactive way better than urethane. Gaggin. Should I get the High Road 40 or wait until June if I'm looking for a weakened sharp ball? I don't know if we'll have another weakened sharp ball from Storm anytime soon, or from Brunswick, really. I think Brunswick really is happy with the bubblegum vibe. And then Storm is happy with the High Road 40 and the Typhoon as well. So I wouldn't expect any weakened sharp stuff for a little bit. But the High Road is going to be a little bit cheaper right now. So if you want, you could wait for a sale potentially, because once you get near the end of the season, you usually see a couple sales pop up. And Aaron, again, is it possible to have both the Phase 2 and the Phase 2 Pearl? Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Phase 2 and Phase 2 Pearl can fit in the same bag. They're different enough. As many questions, plus any of the Ion Pros and the IQ Tour. Ion Pro and IQ Tour Solid are very close together. Don't get both of those. Turtle Guy, I got to watch the Illinois Classic. That is awesome. And you had a conversation with Sherman. Nice. Love that for you. That's super cool. AJ, do we have viewership count for bowling on the CW yet? I don't believe so. Let's see. Viewership count per show CW. I don't, we might. Okay. That's getting mad at my ad blocker. And I don't have an ad blocker. What do you mean? Refresh page. All right. Okay, it's not letting me. Cool. That was looking at USTV. Okay, I can't actually see what it is. Shoot, I don't think they've actually publicized him yet. I don't think they've publicized him. Grumpa, what is going on? 100 degrees in Arizona. That's disgusting. That's a little steamy. Little bit steamy. Let's see. David Painter, what's going on, man? Thank you for buying the chamois again, man. Do you know what ball I randomly thought about today? The Alpha Crux. I'd love to find one nib. There are overseas Alpha Cruxes. I don't know. I think they might not be available yet, but I know it got approved and they are making some overseas ones. So there are going to be some ones coming out, but you're not going to be able to get them stateside for less than like $400 or something crazy. Colin, love the videos. Thank you, man. I just got Walk just got up the Brunswick Rhino for a starter hook ball. Yes, that is a fantastic starter hook ball. Perfect option for you, man. And Blevins, what do you think about the Bionic? The Bionic is crazy because it is without a doubt the most winning ball on the PBA Tour right now. It has been thrown in 3 title matches and has won 3 title matches. It is the only reactive ball to actually win a title this year so far because we've had Bionic and IQ 78. We had the Black Hammer, and then we had Bionic, and we had another Bionic. So the Bionic is the best PBA ball right now. A lot of house guys are really liking it. It is pretty strong. I think a lot of people are surprised by how strong the cover stock is, but it is Storm's strongest cover. It is an incredible ball, though. It's looking really, really good for a lot of people. I'm really tempted to pick one up myself. So I think it is a top 5 bowling ball in the market right now, maybe top 10. Which is a lot of people aren't going to like my video tomorrow. I'm actually coming out with a best 6-ball arsenal from Storm, and I am not including the Bionic. It is an honorable mention, but I have the phase 2 in front of it yet just because the Bionic is so new. So the phase 2 still is going to reign supreme. Little spoiler for tomorrow's video. Joe Wilson's, do you have a favorite for the Masters? The Masters is, in my opinion, the hardest tournament to predict because it's so unpredictable. I mean, it really depends on who you face. So like D-Ron winning, Haynes winning, like Gary Haynes hasn't bowled on tour because he's been hurt all year and he hasn't really done anything big. No one predicted him to win. No one predicted D-Ron to win. No one predicted a lot of those guys to win. I mean, right now, Simonson is currently the best bowler on the planet. So it's hard to not pick him, especially he loves the Masters format. But in the head-to-head format, it's so easy in like round 1 or 2 to just have to go against a 750 and lose. So that's so tough. Maribeth, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you're awake at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Dasher, I fell off a treadmill and scraped my knees. The right's worse. I'm really sorry for that, man. That sucks. Mike, you told me the Effect Tour over the V1 went with the Gremlin Tour to throw out some SPI, and it's amazing. Nice. Love that for you. The Gremlin Tour is going to get severely ignored. I will predict that already. It's just not going to get the sales because the Bionic is a symmetrical hybrid, and everyone's going to buy the Bionic because it's on TV a lot. But the Gremlin Tour is good. It is just like a Black Widow Tour in a lot of ways, which I do have now also. I've had one for a little while. I ended up buying one, I think, on bowling.com. But I'm excited to throw that a little bit more. Wayne, you get a Snapshot hybrid yet? $100 at Buddy's. No, I have not. I can't believe that ball's so dirt cheap already. That thing hasn't been out for more than 8 months. Really, I think it came out in August. But I think Brunswick knew when they released it that it wasn't going to sell at all. If I remember right, somebody mentioned to me a long time ago, this was probably a year ago or so, or no, it wasn't a year ago. It was probably like 8 or 9 months ago. It was before the hybrid came out that, yeah, we didn't make many of them. We don't expect many to sell. So that'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely crazy. Hey, Bowling and Crocs, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Jim, greetings. Have a great show. Thank you, man. Charmaine, what is the Next Factor compared to? So the Next Factor is, without a doubt, the weirdest ball I've thrown. So it is at least 4 boards weaker than a phase 2 Pearl. However, its ball reaction is so unique because it is still an asymmetrical ball. It's a stronger asymmetrical core in terms of flare. The RG is so high that it just hooks so late down lane. I was expecting it to be Skid Snap City, but it's not. It's very round. It's more smooth than I expected. A lot more of a continuous ball compared to like a symmetrical weaker ball, which is going to get to the end of the pattern and go sideways on you. So that's what I really like about it. It doesn't really fit in a lot of spots. For me, it is a step below a phase 2 Pearl. It's kind of like where I wanted the Ember to be, but it's a more consistent Ember is how I'm seeing it. I've never matched up with the Ember, unfortunately. I loved it for like 3 games, and then it just started doing some really weird things. So that's where the next factor kind of fits that role in the bag, a step, kind of that weaker, medium, and sharp options above a high road 40 for me, but it's also going to be able to be played a little deeper on the lane. So that's kind of where I have it right now. Let's see. Don took first in a handicap tournament. Congratulations, man. And Kevin likes his next factor. Third game league, shot a 238 with a 7-bagger. That is, love that for you. Love that. Digby, did you grow it? Did you grow into the swag Unreal Solid or still meh? I've thrown it 4 times now, and it strikes for me for a little while. I don't like the ball reaction. I got to be honest. The ball reaction does not match my eye well. I had another guy watch me throw it a little bit, and he said there's going to be, and he agreed, there's going to be very few times in tournaments where it's usable because it's weaker than a lot of balls that it fits around, but it's also a lot smoother. So I think if you're on like low volume and you're a little more rev dominant, it's going to be a great ball for you. But for me, in my situation, it just isn't really the play in a lot of cases. So I recorded a video. I'm not posting it yet. I'm going to re-record it because I've been watching my clips a little bit more, and I want to make sure I get this one right. I really need to make sure I get this one right because there's a lot of people that really don't like when you badmouth a bowling ball, and I'm not like super negative on it, but I am very mediocre on it. So I want to make sure I get the wording right so it doesn't get taken out of context. Kind of the hard thing when you're not the most positive towards bowling balls at times. When you're unbiased, that's kind of one of the drawbacks of the situation. Also, drink of the day is Starbies, by the way. I've had this in the fridge all day. My fiance threw it in there for me. I think it's like a brown sugar one. I don't know. I hate coffee, but there's enough brown sugar in here to make it taste great. Jerry Mars, what is going on? We have a Jerry Mars sighting in the chat. Look out, world. Good to always see him hanging. Let's see. Steve, our Sports Shot League Bowls on all be nice. Love that. Buds is going to pick up a concept and a bionic next month. It's a good combo. It's a good combo. Random, a guy gave me a lethal venom. How does that compare to the black? It's a lot earlier. Heck of a lot earlier, heck of a lot smoother for you. So that's where that one's going to fit. B. Dean bought a ticket to a motive test drive. Do you have any tips or what to expect? Yeah, if you're going to your own matchmaker test drive, just bowling ball demo, one, I highly recommend if you have the opportunity, go bowl in a matchmaker, a test drive, go bowl in a bowling ball demo. I think it is the best thing for beginner bowlers all the way up to advanced bowlers. You have the opportunity to throw more bowling balls than you could ever imagine. You usually have 5 to 10 options. And you can throw it on a house shot. You can throw it on sometimes different conditions if the bowling alley puts out different stuff. And you can bring your own stuff and compare it to your own equipment, which is awesome. So if you have 3 bowling balls and you don't know what to buy for a 4th, you can bring those balls and throw them on the same condition to see where certain ones fit. Remember that because you have the interchangeable fingers and thumb and the span isn't quite right, you should expect a little lower of a rev rate and a little lower ball speed. But it still gives you a really good idea of what bowling balls kind of fit for you and which ones don't. So if you have the chance, it's usually 10 or 20 bucks. I highly recommend it. You do not need to buy a ball to go. I would also see it as good, cheap practice as well, because you can see different ball shapes and see what they do. I think if you haven't thrown many bowling balls in your life, it's a great, great opportunity. Let's see. Aaron, thank you very much. I had the original Ion Max, been working best for me. That's awesome. Awesome. I have to scroll a little bit. William Cobb, what's going on? I threw a 299 3 weeks ago with the Zero Mercy Pearl. Congratulations, man. That is really cool. Happy for you. Jamie, here we are live, informative interviews, fact-checking, sponsored, and making a difference. This is the ZVL Network. Thank you so much. We're gonna have a lot of ZVL stuff, a few new additions to the channels coming very soon. Make sure to tune in for next week. We have some really cool stuff coming. Can't fully announce it yet, but expect a lot of new ways for you guys to get to be better bowlers and to actually hang out and interact with the channel. So a lot of cool things coming in the next couple of weeks. Arctic Vibe is 102. That's nuts. Drivudo, when is the next copper drop? There were so many on balls on sale. I had one go out last week. I had one go out last Friday, I believe. So there was one really recently. Make sure to just go check out the YouTube and scroll back a little bit. Let's see. Let's catch up over here. E Breezy, do you miss the gold IQ? I never threw the gold IQ. That was before my time. I had the brown one, the IQ 2 or 30, which I really liked, and then it cracked on me. I've had the IQ Emerald, which I really liked, and it cracked on me. And now I have an IQ Ruby, and I have another new IQ Ruby. I'm still trying to find a new IQ Emerald, but I don't want to pay $300. Just getting ready for the Masters. Yeah, Jerry, when is that? Is you're probably leaving maybe a week, right? What time? What day do you have to get to the Masters? I don't know how that process works at all. I signed up for the for the wait list, and I didn't get picked. It'd be fun to go, though. I'd love it. Fox Hollow, when do you think Storm will announce new balls? So they just had the Ion Max Pearl and the Gremlin Tour release last Friday. So there is a non-zero chance they announce stuff this Friday or next Friday around 10 a.m. I really hope it's this Friday and not next Friday because I have a lot of stuff next Friday. So it'll be hard for me to make a video. So Storm, if you're listening, move your date up just for me, just for me. Screw the rest of it. Just for me, move it up. I don't know when they announce it though. Apologies. I am not sure. Alex, what would you do? What would you use after a track synthesis? Phase 2 solid or Venom Shock? I would go phase 2 solid. Is a little more of a step down. The Venom Shock is going to be like 2 steps down. Let's see. Level Up. Do you have a comparable ball from Storm you would suggest to replace your DNA coil? Ooh. Someone asked me this in the past, and I think Equinox or Viking is going to be the closest you get. Ion Max Pearl is a bit too strong, and then all the other ASIM pearls are a bit too weak. So I would go with Viking or an Equinox. Casey, who's your favorite YouTube instructor? There are not many YouTube instructors right now, like people who do like tips and tricks like that. I know there's been a lot of videos from various people. Brad and Kyle have had good videos. Darren Tang had good videos. JR Raymond actually had some decent videos once in a while. There are some really good people who made some cool stuff. So you just kind of have to scroll around. There really is no set person right now. Jerry, highly recommend drilling a turbo thumb of your own because the fit is not always the same with their thumb. Yes, if you have a turbo thumb, bring that. I mean, I'm gonna go, man. It might as well. I am a big fan of switch grips. So if you don't, I just made a YouTube short about switch grips, and I recommend them if you have more than 3 bowling balls or if you have a lot of thumb issues. Highly, highly recommend. Oh, practice is Monday already. Oh yeah, today is Wednesday. Eesh. Qualifying is Tuesday through Thursday. That'll be fun. I'll be watching a lot of that, Jerry. So make sure to look pretty on camera for me, please. Make sure to look pretty out there. I will be watching a lot of the Masters next week. I love Masters week. The bracket is the most entertaining couple days in bowling because you're watching nutty things happen. It's just a bowling nerd's dream come true is the Masters. Turtle guy, is there a big difference between the pearl and solid rhinos if they're both polished? Yes, there's still the solid one still wants to hook earlier and be smoother. So it isn't a crazy like night and day difference, but there is still differences. Athena, my phase 2 keeps lane shining after 1 game. It's been de-oiled. Don't want to hit it with surface after 1 game anymore. Looking for replacements considering a Venom Shock. Yeah, Venom Shock is it's going to be a little bit weaker, a little bit smoother as well. You could just go with another phase 2 if you want. Rockstar is very close. Vengeance is pretty close. So you have a lot of good options. But yeah, if you want to try switching to a Motive brand, you can. The Venom Shock will be close-ish. Not 100% 1-to-1, but it'll be close-ish. Biggie, I was throwing my Dynasty in League and it stopped hooking. Someone said it burned out. Yes, that is what happens to a bowling ball. So a ball that strong, if it burns up too quick, that means there's not oil in the front part of the lane. Like you're throwing and the ball's hitting too much dry, so it's not hooking down lane. So that is probably what happens if that ball stops hooking. If a ball is hooking and then it stops, that's what happens. Yeah, MN Flyer, Mark Baker is awesome. Yeah, he's on Cleanup Crew's channel. So if you want to check that out, they have a lot of free content with him, which is great. I forgot about that. My bad. Sorry about that. Colin, I absolutely love my Bionic. Made my favorite ball. There you go. Everyone, that's the thing. The Bionic is a ball, is one of those bowling balls that I've heard very few negative things about. The only negative I've seen so far is that it hooks too early at times and it's too strong. And because of where the ball fits, I think a lot of people don't expect the strength of that ball. But yes, it can be too strong at times. So that's a one thing to keep track of if you want to throw it. That could be a little strong. Johnny, I got my phase 2 and my Rockstar amped drilled yesterday. Where's my phase 2 hammer effect tour and Ion Pro solid? Any gaps in that arsenal? Phase 2 effect solid ion. Yeah, you have a lot of medium stuff. So next if you need stuff that hooks more, grab an asymmetrical ball. If you need stuff that hooks less, that's where you go the weak symmetrical weak category. Grumpa took a hazmat solid out of the closet that you didn't line up with a year ago through 255. There you go. It's been 200s with it ever since. It's the OG Stealth Solid or Revolt Uprising similar. Stealth Solid will be pretty similar. The Revolt Uprising is a weird ball. It's like a really beefy urethane. It is insanely strong, but it is insanely slow down lane. So it's a good lefty ball. But all three of them kind of fit in the same category. The Revolt is going to be a step above. The Stealth Solid is going to be like a half step above the Hazmat, and the Hazmat will be the weakest. All right. Joe, have you heard anything on Brunswick bringing back the Infernos? No. I don't hear anything with any of the new bowling balls coming out from the brands. I am kind of left in the dark on all of the brands on what they're coming out with. So it's usually a surprise or I'll get a leak from a random viewer if a ball's coming out, usually like a day before the announcement. So I unfortunately am not the guy who's going to have a lot of leaks. The companies do not contact me for a whole lot of stuff. Unfortunately, it's a little odd. Being kind of the bowling ball guy on the internet now, I've kind of taken that role over. Kind of unfortunate, but if any of the companies are listening, I would love to get a little bit of info on the bowling ball so I can give proper information. Like if there's stuff that I miss about a bowling ball that you don't put on the website, those are things that I would greatly appreciate if anybody from the companies is watching, which I know some of you do. Jeff Burton started bowling 16 weeks ago, bought the Combat 2 weeks ago on your rec and bowled my first 600. That is insane. Congratulations, man. It's a 688 too. That is crazy. Congratulations, man. That is awesome. Hey, Brian T, what is going on, man? What kind of ball do you think Storm's next release will be? I've been saying they needed asymmetrical pearls for a while, and now that they released the Ion Max Pearl, we're in March. I could see like I don't know. They've kind of hit every gap to a certain degree. So I'm honestly not sure what the next ball will be. They've kind of hit everything in the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of months. So I don't really know, honestly. I have no idea. RG Texas, thank you for the follow, man. I still use an LT48. Love that. Is the Black Widow V1 good for a first ball? Yeah, absolutely it is. MN Flyer, Pro Shop open this weekend. Bowling State Sunday. Yeah, somebody should be there this weekend. I won't be. I have a lot of other stuff kicking around for the weekend. But yeah, somebody should be there this weekend. And you can buy a ZVL chamois there if you want as well. We have one left. How do you like the new Evoke? I have barely thrown it outside of the first couple attempts with it. It never matched up for me. I need to find how it's going to match up for me and what it's going to be best on. I have a lot of bowling balls. So I need to find a reason that I need to bring that instead of some of my other equipment. I don't know if I need to polish it. I don't know if I need to dull it. I don't know what the play is, but I have not found much of a use for it. And I don't really match up well with motive stuff is what I'm realizing. Just with my ball roll and what I bowl on and all that. So motive stuff just isn't the greatest for me. Usually slightly more rev dominant guys like the motive stuff a little better. So I got to figure out where that ball is going to fit. Really. I got to figure out what it's going to be best for. Guardian with a new idea for me for a video. Underrated or sleeper bowling balls. Yeah, I made one of those last year. I think I'll make another one probably in the next month or two. I have a lot of videos coming out soon. Yeah, Mike, can we get an Unreal Solid update? Yeah, I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant on it. I've thrown it 4 times, I think now, 4 different occasions, 4 different patterns. I'll be blunt, I don't have a reason that I would bring the Unreal Solid over my Phase 2, over my Optimum Idol, over my Ion Pro Hybrid. I haven't found a reason that a swag ball would be better in a situation. Now, I think the one thing would be if you need something super smooth, I can make any ball angular down lane. That one I could not make angular. No matter what I did with my hand, I could not get it to go to be too angular down lane, which I like bowling balls that are a little more versatile than that. So I don't think I would have a reason for it, but in my full video, when I come out with that, I'll give the reasons and the situations where a swag ball would be better and who it would be better for. It's just it's just not a ball, like, even when I was slow hooking it and cramming on the bottom of it or adding a lot of rev rate, it wasn't better than my other equipment from other brands was the big one. That was the one negative. Zach, I hope they never stop making the phase 2. Oh, they won't. They will not stop making the phase 2. I will promise you that, at least for the next few years. Marshall, is it true that C300 released a white hybrid? It was yeah, they released some, and it was like in Canada only. It went to Bufa. It's a cool looking bowling ball, but I don't know what was all about it. It was odd. It was like I saw I was only going to those guys, and there was only a couple hundred, and they sold out instantly. So I have a feeling they are gonna try to release more like limited edition stuff with Columbia logos on it if it makes money. Because we got to remember, like, Brunswick isn't shutting down a building or something with Columbia stuff. Like, all of their bowling balls, Columbia, Hammer, Deviate, Track, it's all made in the same place. Like, it's all made very close together. The only difference are the cores and covers, and a lot of them share a lot of things. So, like, a lot of people always thought, like, Micro Tracks from Roto Grip is the same thing as NRG from Storm. Brunswick does the same exact thing. So, I would assume that you might see some Columbia stuff get put out as limited edition bowling balls to try to get some sales. So, would not surprise me in the slightest. Phase 3 for the win. Hey, I was one of the few who liked the phase. I was. Drew, thoughts on the Attention Star S2? Thinking of creating an Ion Max kit with a solid in pearl and the Attention Star. It's a little smooth. It's a little smooth, a little slow. So, yeah, it's okay. Level up. Super happy to see you partner with EFX. Thank you, man. No, the cool thing is, so like the one thing with this channel that I will always preach is I don't take sponsorships from everybody. Like, I will only take sponsorships with companies that I really like their product and really like what they do. And then also no bowling ball companies. I will never be exclusive in that regard. But like Apparel EFX, I only have used EFX jerseys for the last like 3 years. I've tested all the jerseys. EFX has been my favorite by far. They are the most comfy. They fit me the best. They're the lightest weight. They're just what I've liked best. So it was awesome. Like, I reached out to EFX to try to see if we could make something work because I like their product. I think they are the best in that regard. Same thing with Turbo. I've only used switch grips since I started bowling. I of course know how to install and have attempted with the other brands, but Turbo has been my favorite in always. In everything they do, I always go Turbo. And then yeah, bowling.com also is incredible with their stuff. So that's always something to keep in mind. So like EFX, like, I'm not just trying to spew and make money. Like, I truly do love what they do. They are my favorite. And like, our team jerseys have always been EFX. If you've seen my Fig Jam jersey that I have on Thursdays for Guess My League series, those that were EFX, and I bought those a year and a half ago for my teammates. So yeah, it's awesome. They're the best. Let's see. Tattooed French fry. I love the name. What do you think of your next factor? I really like mine so far. I've only thrown it in one situation, so like, I'm not gonna just spout amazing things about it yet. I'm gonna throw it for league tomorrow, but it was a lot cleaner but smoother than I expected, it was surprising. I think I bucketed on my first ball with it, which was crazy. I don't bucket very often. I was just way too far left with it. Like, I got lined up with the phase 2 pearl, then I threw the next factor and it did not hook. It's like, oh, this is a weak ball. Okay, got it. Because like, drilling into it, I know it's an ASIM. So I was like, man, this thing should hook, but it just doesn't. It just is weak, which is awesome. What I wanted it for. Hey, Glenn, have a great stream. Thank you, Glenn. Really appreciate it. Still throwing the IQ Ruby ball rock? I am. I still bring it with every once in a while. L Dog, recent purchase was Concept Gremlin Tour. Love that. David Hahn, what's going on? Cool Hand, does your rev rate ever vary drastically regardless of your ball choice? Trying to troubleshoot my game. It doesn't really change. My rev rate is actually really consistent. My thing that changes is my balls or my ball rotation. So my axis rotation is the one that I have been trying to hone in a little bit more. But I've been changing so many physical game things that has been very variable for me. Where my rev rate has stayed really consistent, my speed I can keep pretty consistent. It's just the ball roll that gets a little bit bad. Chapel, I'm at my center, had the front nine, my lane shut off. Ooh, I'm so sorry for that, man. I'm so sorry. Moto Fish, how would you compare a Purple Hammer to a Black Widow 3.0? Night and day different. Purple Hammer is not allowed in all competition, and the Black Hammer is allowed in all competition. Also, the Black Hammer 3.0 died after like 50 games. Apples to oranges from Trap Jitsu. I love that. Ditzler, what would you use? Oh, we hit that one. RJ, can't make my Ion Max spin, so polishing it. Will three overlap? Will overlap? Polish Ion Max, Evoke Hysteria, and Ion Pro Solid. No, you're okay. I mean, a polished big ASIM Pearl, or a polished big ASIM Solid is still going to be smoother than an ASIM Pearl. Like if you polish the Ion Max and you threw an Ion Max Pearl, the Ion Max is still going to be earlier and smoother no matter what. So you're A-okay. Purple Hammer hooks as much as my Zero Mercy. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Understandable. Like, yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I tried to push it pretty hard with my urethane video, but I don't know. A lot of people, it didn't get across to completely, and I didn't do a great job explaining it. But a urethane ball is the strongest ball in your bag. A urethane ball will hook more and earlier than a Zero Mercy Solid, than an Ion Max, Jackalonics. So remember that when you buy a urethane, it is not the weakest ball in your bag, which is the biggest misconception with bowling, and I hate it with a passion. But it is not the weakest ball. Purple Hammer, Black Hammer, a lot of those are going to be stronger than most of your other equipment, which is a tough thing. One of the biggest issues with the game. Chris, if you could bring back one bowling ball, what would it be? Storm Axiom. I will always answer the Storm Axiom. Now, the Vengeance is close to it, and I haven't gotten a Vengeance, so I got to do that. William Cobb just got a Nebula and you like it. Love that. Kai, what is going on? It's the one. Thank you for the follow. Level up. I was thinking Viking, so that's good. Absolutely. Llama D, you have a storm clear plastic ball that cracked and a small chunk missing around the thumb. They're $150. Would you suggest paying a pro shop to plug the cracks or go get another one? So it depends how much plug is. I don't like plugging plastic balls all that much, but that ball's really pricey, so I would recommend it. I usually don't like plugging T-zones or white dots or, you know, the really cheap plastic bowling balls that are like $70. But for that one, I'd recommend trying to plug it. I think that'd be a little better. You'll save a little more money. Dennis switched to 15 from 14 6 weeks ago. Your average went up by 30 pins. Love that for you. Anyone ever had bowler's thumb? How long does it take to recover? No, I've never heard of bowler's thumb. Have you had experience with vacuum grips? I want to test vacuum grips. So one issue with my game that I've noticed lately is my fingers stay in the ball too long and it causes me to spin the ball a little bit more. So I'm very tempted to go try vacuum grips out just to see how they work. When I tried it the first time, I hated them. It just felt super weird, but I didn't give them a crazy big chance. So I want to try it again to see how they work. Joe, how angular was the Piranha Orange supposed to be? Mine seems like it has no regard for human life. It was supposed to be super smooth, but Brunswick stuff right now is just all angular. They make very few smooth bowling balls. Like their smooth bowling balls would be angular bowling balls for like a Motive or a Swag. So even, yeah, their stuff kicks down lane. Their stuff goes. Mark over on Facebook, do you recommend an ASIM and a SIM ball with similar numbers and cover to make a 1-2 combo? Absolutely. I think a good one is to have both an ASIM and a SIM to test, see which kind you like better, especially if you only have 2 bowling balls. I think they're going to be different enough then, which will be good. Jesse Montano got a Zero Mercy Solid looking at a new effect. Love the color and reaction. If the Zero Mercy isn't too strong for you all the time, a full effect could work. But as a two-hander, I'd be a little worried because generally two-handers are rev dominant, and those balls aren't the best for rev dominant guys. It might be a little too strong. All right. Remember, if you haven't, make sure to hit the like button on whatever video you're on. On TikTok, make sure to double tap the screen. Best way to help boost that like number, then it gets out to more bowlers. If you're over on YouTube, press the thumbs up button. It'd be really appreciated. And then a subscribe or follow if you haven't. Best way to help support the channel, best way to help get notified for all of the new bowling videos that come out. We are your one-stop shop for all and every bowling type of thing you can imagine. You want bowling ball advice, you want discontinued news, you want PBA news, you want news on the new HBO series Born to Bowl, which we're going to talk about. I didn't forget it yet. I just wanted to get through a lot of questions first. We're going to talk about that one a little bit. We have everything and anything you can imagine in the world of bowling to check out. My phone is going nuts, but we have all the cool stuff. So make sure to subscribe or follow if you have not. Otherwise, we are live on 4 separate platforms. Is the HBO series out, Nathan? Yes. Yes, Born to Bowl on HBO is live, episode 1 only. It is a 5-part docuseries. And I did watch episode 1 on Monday night. I was a massive fan. I think they did a really good job because one of the hardest things with any sport, not just bowling, it's everything, is getting your non-hardcore fans to understand what's going on. The F1 series had to do it. Bowling has to do it. Golf has to do it. How do you get somebody who's never, you have to assume like, there's going to be somebody who's never heard of the word bowling before. How do you hook them? How do you get them to watch? And I think Born to Bowl did a really good job on that while showing a lot of the players. I think they did a good job with Cam and Kyle to start. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Jason, Simo, and EJ, especially Simo. I'm really excited to see how the Simo part of it goes because he is a fun dude. And you don't see much of him on social media. So I think he'll be really cool to see. But I was a massive fan so far. If you have HBO, I'd recommend checking it out. If you don't have HBO, what I recommend is getting a 1-month subscription in like 2 weeks, because then you can watch the entire series in 1 month, compared to getting it now because you'll have to get 2 months. So you want to save a little bit of money, wait a little bit, stay spoiler free, and then go get it in a couple of weeks. And then you'll be able to watch all 5 episodes of the series. So make sure to do that. It's really cool. I would love to see the viewership be high on that guy. HBO was actually promoting it pretty hard, which was cool. So I would love to see the viewership high on Born to Bowl, because if it's high, they're going to continue with a season 2, season 3. I have had some rumors sent to me that they are already working on season 2, which would be really cool. But viewership needs to be there for HBO to want to keep it going. So make sure to go watch it if you haven't. It'd be really appreciated in the bowling world to keep things like that going. It's a good way to get new people into the bowling space. I think Born to Bowl is the biggest thing to come to bowling in the last couple of years. So keep an eye on that. Make sure to go check it out if you haven't. It's just fun to see. You get to see a lot of the players a little bit more. But it was super cool so far. I saw somebody ask about this Starbucks, by the way. This is a grande iced chai latte with brown sugar syrup. So the brown sugar syrup is why I'm drinking it. I don't like coffee, but I like brown sugar. It's all ice now and water. That's sad. That is sad. But no, if you have questions on Born to Bowl, please let me know as well. I want to know who Simo wants to punch in the face. That was a line that was said, which was sick. I love it. EJ even had some lines like, a lot of these guys look like they're or sound like angels on social media and stuff, but you always have to remember that people can have 2 faces. It's very easy to do on social media, especially as a pro bowler. You don't see a lot of the things. There's a lot of guys on the PBA tour who you think are absolute angels, but have done wild things out of rage, like punching walls, punching themselves, throwing bowling balls through chairs. That one happened with a current PBA pro. Chucking 3-ball totes in the parking lots, smashing things. Like, the amount of things that some bowlers have done is crazy that you would never expect. There's a lot of teddy bears on the tour that you think are teddy bears, but when they get upset or when they got upset in their day, it'd be nuts. Hey, Ryan Powers, what's going on? I didn't see nothing. I don't know. Ryan probably has a couple stories. He's bowled with plenty of people. He probably has some stories of people who have done a couple of things. None of those stories were even about you, Ryan. I have no idea if you're a rager when you get upset. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Some of the things that you've seen, like everybody always puts, everyone always thinks Simo is like the rage guy on tour. No. There are so many others who you wouldn't expect that have done things. Like, I never expected, like, even Pete, like, Pete's done some crazy stuff. There were people that did way worse stuff than Pete did when they got upset. Pete just did it publicly. The others just don't. Simo seems like a punk. And the thing is, he's not. That's the crazy part. He's one of the most professional guys in a lot of ways. Like, that dude's done a lot, but you just don't see a lot of it. That's the thing with not many cameras out there. Like, Brad and Kyle aren't gonna show that stuff. Darren Tang's not gonna show that stuff. That's a bad look for their guys. They delete any footage where that stuff would ever happen, but there are some situations that you see people, like, go berserk. It's it's something that a lot of people don't know if you aren't like, if you don't see it at the tournaments. Bowling with a couple of these guys, you hear and see the stories and see some things that they've done, so crazy. Yeah, Simo's the nicest guy away from the lanes. Oh, yeah, I've met him once now. He was awesome. Super nice dude. Everybody loves Simo. Yeah. He's just a guy who people like a lot. I need to watch this. Yeah, that was one of I think if you want to get a deeper look at bowlers and like an actual behind the curtain, these guys go into it. These guys cover the raw details that you will not see on a vlog of these guys or on TV or things like that. Like, they show some of the crazy stuff. It is called Born to Bowl. Born to Bowl on HBO Max. Heard stories about Mr. Rash. Oh yeah, Rash has done some stuff, like all of them have. I mean, everyone remembers Belmo's bottle thing. He was notorious for that. It wasn't just a one-time thing. He's been known to do that for a while at that point. He was kind of scummy in his young age from stories that I've heard. A lot of those guys are. PBA tryouts don't make the videos. Exactly. They just don't. And there are a lot. Wait, what Pete Weber said wasn't the worst. He should have praised the Lord, not curse him. There are a lot worse things that are said on the PBA tour. There are a lot worse things said in sports. Like, a lot of people think a lot of like professional athletes are angels a lot of the time out there, like, because you don't see a lot of the things they say or do, and they're humans, and they are more competitive than anybody on the planet. And when you're competitive, you're going to freak out when you lose. You are gonna freak out. It's crazy. There are some wild things that people wouldn't expect, but when you are an athlete, it makes sense. Like, if you have been an athlete, if you have competed at those higher levels, it's understandable some of the things you see and do. Like, yeah, I felt that way too. Um, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's some cool things. So I really hope the series gets into that a little bit more. I'm really excited to see what the series gets into. We will see. We will see. Tattooed, I hope you post a video throwing the Black Widow. I did throw it. Finally, I got it drilled. I bought it while I was sick. So I will be throwing it. I will be practicing with it more soon. L Dog, Storm could do another weaker solid. They could. That would be an option. Beth switched from 15 to 14 over the summer. Averages down about 13 pins. Well, the other guy was up like 30, so just take him. Just do what he did. I don't know what he did, but nah, that going in weight can either be really good or bad for your timing. Timing is always the big one that gets switched. Also, a lot of weight loss will do that as well. If you ever lose a lot of weight or if you gain some weight, like, your timing and your swing actually changes. So any bodily things can change it a lot. It's always a big one. Let's see. I think what they're missing is an additional urethane ball and or a couple of them to give people options. No, they are not. Storm understands that urethane is potentially on the chopping block, I think. So I think the concept will be all we see from them for a while until we actually get confirmation of what USBC is going to do, if there's going to be a ban coming. I think that's why you're not seeing much urethane. That's why it's surprising seeing Brunswick come out with so much stuff. But they are getting a lot of quick sales from it because, as I learned with my urethane video from yesterday, people love urethane. It is a crutch for so many people. It's crazy. Like, I don't say that to be mean, but the amount of comments I got saying urethane is the only ball I use. I don't own any other bowling balls because all of them hook too much for me. There's no reason for me to have anything other than urethane is so crazy. That's like going out in a golf course and saying, I only use a driver. I will not use anything else. It's so common. It is so common. So I see why Brunswick does it. Like, this new purple hammer, there are 0.1% of bowlers can use that purple hammer really effectively. Otherwise, there's very few reasons to get it. And it's going to sell like crazy. It's going to be bought by so many people that don't need urethane and have no reason to ever throw a urethane ball because it looks like it's the purple, but it's not even a purple hammer is the crazy part. It's a new core that flares way more. It has over double the differential of the original, and it's a new cover. So it's not a purple. It looks like it, but it is different in both ways. And I'm going to get a message on that one too. But it is a different bowling ball than the original purple. But people are going to buy it like crazy. And it's like the Black Hammer is probably the best option for somebody who needs a 78 hardness urethane if you need one. If you don't need one, purple's the way to go. There we go. Rant over. All right. I got to scroll a little bit. I am about 20 minutes behind on chat. Do we agree Origin EX and Rockstar in the same bag with Intention Star? I think the EX and the Rockstar are a little too close together, honestly. We answered the Starbies question. Larry Tripp, what's going on? What are your thoughts on the next factor? Luke had it in his recent video, someone using urethane. If someone's using urethane on a house shot, I don't think it's a bad idea. In that situation, I think it might be a little clean. I do understand where he's coming from because urethane is going to pick up oil in the front, make it drier, and make the lane longer. So I think that would be a decent option. I like to use stronger asymmetrical equipment to try to dig in the oil down lane. Because what urethane does, it just pushes oil down lane and it just snow plows it down lane. So I think that's a decent option. Jason, would you use a polished hammerhead or a bionic for League? I think the polished hammerhead would be pretty decent. I like shiny solids for League. I think if you're a speed dominant guy, the bionic's going to be better for you. But otherwise, I think the polished hammerhead might be a play. Let's see. Peter Dimer just bought Next Factor. What would be stronger? Rockstar Amped and a Phase 2 Pearl. Jeffrey, thoughts on drilling bowling balls pinned down? I don't like a lot of pin down bowling balls. I get their use. What it does is it makes the ball smoother down lane. It makes it hook later and it makes it be smoother. So if you're a guy where you have a problem with getting balls, every bowling ball overhooks for you, pin down is going to be a good option for you. That's where it's going to be best. But solid pearl hybrid, in the past, people would do it on solids to make them even smoother. I think it depends on the situation and the person and what your arsenal is. Don Clifton. Oh, I was hitting some stealth mode questions. Jamani, returning to bowling on Main Street, V2. Ooh, good luck, man. That one's a little bit easier. It plays like a house shot. I just play it similar to a house shot. And Simone, did you get the Pulse Hybrid by Columbia? I did not. I didn't even know that the Pulse Hybrid was coming out until it was already discontinued or it was already sold out. I saw a picture of it and I was like, that's weird. And then I looked at it and it was sold out. It was crazy. I think I was at work at the time, which was the problem. With ball, which ball is better, Zero Mercy Pearl or Full Effect? They're going to do different things. There's not really a better or worse option. The Full Effect is going to be weaker. I think it's a little more usable. PJ Brunswick came out with it because patch pirates and bowlers will say to get it just because they got it. Oh, I think a lot of people think like I'm saying an FU to USBC for buying it. Like, do people know that USBC made their money on that ball? Like, they approved it. It's not like USBC didn't approve the ball. They approved it, and it's not really. I mean, there was just a report. I wish I saw the post. I wish I had the post yet. Yeah, no, I'll be check. Oh, never mind. I just saw Ryan from Spareware say something. Let me try finding it on Facebook. It was a kind of crazy post. It was about the purple though. I just have to find Wriggle. Jeffrey Wriggles, the #1 journalist in the bowling world. Okay, maybe I have to go to my ZVL bowling account, not my personal. But there was a post from a Swedish, someone Swedish, who he's like one of the high ups in tournaments and all that. And he posted something crazy about purple hammers. Here it is. Swedish bowling leader, Patrick Bake. So this week they measured 100 bowling balls with their brand new durometer. The only balls that measured under 70 were purple hammers, and there was not one purple hammer that was over 67. The closest was a black hammer 78. That measured at 71. So that they used a Shore A scale durometer. Or no, of course it's D. Change the picture. I hope everything is good with you. So they used a Shore D durometer for it. And now Brunswick has come out and said they don't actually match the right number. They've never actually posted proof of that, but it's kind of crazy that Sweden checked all of these bowling balls and they all came back super soft. So absolutely crazy. Sorry, that was something I saw that I wanted to make a post on and I forgot to. So you get it live. Let's see. Tori Casey. Severe collision Following Jackal Ghost. Just got 1 ball. 3 Venom Shock. Yeah, that would be exactly where it fits. There you go. William Cobb. Should I switch to interchangeables because my thumb swells? That is the perfect time to have interchangeables in some way, because then you can take tape out, put tape in, or just switch to a bigger thumb entirely. A lot of people like to have a bigger option and a smaller option for thumbs. So if your thumb does swell and you don't like using tape, or you don't have much tape in your thumb, that is the perfect time to have interchangeables. I am a guy who I drill my thumbs a little bit bigger and then I load them with tape because I love tape and I love being able to alter that. So I usually have a couple different ones of different pitches as well. And JR Pro Shop, who we already mentioned, but hello, welcome, man. Good to see you. I already hit one of your videos or one of your comments. Mike, have you ever thought about a how-to such as cleaning your ball, how to apply surface? I do have those on my short form platform. I have how to put surface on a ball, how to check your pitches, how to check if your span is correct. I am going to do more of those in the future. I am definitely going to be doing more videos like that. Turtle guy, I had a guy tell me I need a spare ball instead of just flattening my wrist. Is that true? Yes. I am a firm believer. I am in team spare ball camp. I think if your name is not Norm Duke, a spare ball will boost your spare percentage. I think changing your physical game is one of the hardest things to do in the sport of bowling. So a lot of people don't know how inconsistent they get when they flatten their wrist, when they throw it harder, whatever it may be. So I always recommend getting a spare ball, because being able to throw the exact same from your strike shot to your spare shot is a very important thing to have. Now, if you're a PBA pro, it's going to be a little different story. But for the non-pros out there, which is probably everybody watching or almost everybody watching, I think a spare ball is always the better option. Always think so. Ominous. The misunderstanding with urethane being the weakest ball in the bag is a misuse of ambiguous terms such as strong and weak. Most people mean their ball is drilled to not flare or hook much, so it's more controllable, not that it's weak going through the pins. It's apples and oranges statement. Yeah, there is a lot of words in bowling that have dual meanings or people take the wrong way. But it's very hard to find like standardized words. Like when you talk about the cliff, over, under, wet, dry, cliff, all of that stuff all means the same thing, which is tough. Let's see. Dawn. That's my mixtape. I need to watch this. Tippet. I also used to love my Axiom Solid. I think I have one left undrilled. Ooh. I think if you polish it, it's a good house shot ball, but otherwise it is very close to the Sublime Focus. So I would avoid it if you have a Sublime Focus. Let's see. We'll scroll a little bit. Mixtape. I'm a bounce. I don't want to hear any spoilers. Yeah, sorry, man. No, hopefully we didn't. I tried to avoid any spoilers with anything that I said. Just who's in the videos, which we know it's the main 5 guys. Yeah, the pros are still regular people. That's always the big thing, is like even pro athletes, they're all just regular people and they all have tempers. Every single one of them. Every athlete you ever meet has a temper in some way. Because if you are okay with losing, if you're not upset with losing, then you're not a very competitive guy in a lot of ways. So that is where that comes in. And these guys are the most competitive guys in the world. They want to be the best and they need to be the best. Hey, Brock, what's going on? I'm Pulse Pearl. Pulse Hybrid. There you go. That is my leaker for the Pulse Hybrid. And then I didn't see it until the next morning because Brock works night shifts. So I think he sent it at like 3 a.m. Hey, Jeremiah, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Don, one of my friends rolled a 279 in a tournament and lost. He threw his ball in the garbage and left. But he threw a good game. No, that's the sucky thing with head-to-head bowling, is you can shoot 279 and the other guy can shoot 290 and you lose. So that's the thing with the Masters, is like usually the best bowler doesn't win the Masters, which is a crazy statement. But the guy who knocks down the most pins generally is not the winner. Usually they'll get knocked out. They usually have a good chance. Like last year, Simonson was the best bowler. He outbowled Haynes in most of his matches. He had more pins, but he ended up losing. So that's the crazy thing with head-to-head bowling. Generally, like there's always a good chance that the best bowler there doesn't win. The best tournaments to see if the best guy wins is just total pins. Just a total pins only tournament. That is how you have technically the best bowler in the building. The best bowler that day wins the tournament. But that's so boring. So boring. Unheard Gaming, which Black Widow did you get? I have the Black Widow Tour V1 is the one that I have. Are they allowed to listen to music while they bowl, Steve? You are not allowed to in professional tournaments. Mike, I got a lot of minor league hockey games. I can hear them chirp each other. I'm retired Navy and trash talk with the best of them. Athletes take it to another level. Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. Dude, the things I heard in high school basketball were insane. Like, I was a high school basketball kid all the way through high school, and the things that we were saying to each other were insane. Like, yeesh. Don, I heard there is a 78U pitch black on the horizon. I can confirm with you, unfortunately, that it is an overseas-only bowling ball. That is an overseas-only ball. I pre-ordered the Bionic from Big B before it won a tournament, so it's been fun watching. Yeah, people love it. People adore that ball. Yeah, the blue lettered pitch black. That one is an overseas only bowling ball. That is not going to be coming stateside. Joe gained 30 pins of average by a ZVL chamois. It adds 15 more. Lost 15 pins of average by 2 ZVL chamois and add 30 pins plus 5 bonus pins. No, he's right. He is 100% correct that is indeed the case. If you buy a ZVL chamois, which we have a lot of colorways for right now, do you want pink and purple? We have that. Do you want teal and blue? We have that. So go check out dhlab3d.com, and you look up ZVL. I am unfortunately not on the homepage, but you look up ZVL and you will see our chamois. $25, I think, after shipping. $24. That's a pretty okay price. Celtic Bowler, I'm getting ready to bowl the Tat and dedicating the summer to practice instead of a league. What would you suggest? So the Tat is one of the weirdest tournaments you can compete in. I bowled the True Amateur Tournament last year. I am personally not a fan of the format, and I got roasted pretty hard for saying that, but I do not think it is I think it's a tough tournament. It's high risk, high reward. So there's a lot of gambling that goes into the True Amateur Tournament. You have to bowl it a lot. So the guys who can bowl more shifts and can put more money to it have more opportunities, because what the Tat comes down to is getting a good pair, because you also bowl on the burn all the time. You never bowl on the fresh. You need to, 1, get a pair that plays well. 2, get lanes that are broken down in a proper way, because they usually put out a tougher pattern and you need to shoot like 650 to make the next round. So it's only 3 games. So you just need to average 220. But if the guys before you were spraying urethane all over the place, or they used 500 grit down the middle of the lane, you just lose. You're just done. It's very hard to be able to make that up. So it's a lot of gambling. So be ready for that. You got to be ready for a short sprint with the Tat. But I would recommend getting some controllable shapes, making sure to find ways to not split is the big one at that tournament. So that is my True Amateur Tournament review. You guys remember last year, I came back and had a lot to say about that tournament. I actually have a video about it as well with a lot of clips of me in it. It was just surprising. It was very eye-opening for what that tournament truly is. And I know they are like the biggest tournament in the world, and that's awesome because anybody can make the cut. That's the big thing with that tournament. Anyone can make it. Anyone can have a good 3-game set on accident. You Brooklyn a couple extra times, you get a couple lucky strikes, and you make the next round. So that's the good thing with that tournament. Everybody has a chance to make it. Celtic, I can't bowl nationals because it's the day after my wedding. That's fair. No, that's totally fair. I don't recommend against bowling the Tat. Just know what you're signing up for is the big one. And try to bowl some side events that aren't the True Amateur Tournament. Vegas has a lot of really cool tournaments. Last year, I bowled one on a tougher pattern. It was super fun. It was with like 12 guys on the shift. Super exciting tournament. I won a physics blackout, which I ended up selling soon after because it just doesn't roll well for me. So it was fun. It was super fun. But yeah, be ready for that. Aaron, if I may ask, why do they plan to completely, or why do they ban in the PWBA but not men's? So the PWBA is owned, and he's talking about urethane here. PWBA is owned by USBC, and the PBA is owned by Bolero / Lucky Strikes. So because they're different entities, they have different rules, and the PBA doesn't like to match what USBC does ever. So that is why the rules don't match. USBC thinks that in the higher level competition, urethane should not be allowed because it adds a different skill level, or like you can use urethane on a lot more stuff. So it isn't they think it adds it's a little less skillful to only use urethane. Um, Up to you if you like it or not. There are guys on the PBA tour who have thrown urethane for 95% of their strike balls this season so far. But PBA doesn't believe in that. So that's why. All right. Jer Bear, what's going on? Everything pinned down. You're rev dominant, if I remember right. Pyran, what a day. The overworked and underpaid stuff never ends. I get the Sealands. Patrick Back is a nice guy and knows what he's talking about. There you go. Yeah, no, that's the thing. He might get clowned a little bit because the US hates or loves urethane. But it's the same findings I found as well with my purple hammers. Um, so it's interesting. It is interesting. And it's very expensive to try to get one to, according to Brunswick's rules, get one to read true. It's very pricey and time consuming. I should maybe try that at some point, but every time you mention urethane, like everything goes up in flames. One of the tough things. It's very hard to talk about urethane without having people freak out. Hey, Dawn's average went up 7 pins since picking up the ZVL chamois. It's not a coincidence. Intel, would a Facebook page dedicated to all major sites dedicated to bowling, acting as a one-stop launch platform, not accelerate the awareness of sports in bowling, of the sport of bowling? Would a Facebook page dedicated to all major sites dedicated to bowling? Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Intel, that's kind of what Bowlers Network is doing. So that's a group that I'm with right now. They're trying to make a one-stop shop for all bowling for a lot of bowling content. They're not trying to make like a TikTok or something, but their goal is to bring a lot of bowling stuff together. So to find leagues, find tournaments, find professionals, like there's a lot of different ways that they want to be able to build. So they are kind of trying to do that. And you are right. Bowling is spread out in a lot of ways, and nobody has tried growing it in a lot of the normal ways that you would grow something. Like, for example, I am currently the only bowling creator that tries to cover everything. I am one of the few. I know JR Pro Shop has started trying to post a few things about the PBA Tour, but there are very few of us out there who actually post who aren't just a ball reviewer. It's a very tough thing with the bowling world. So I see content and social media as the way that bowling has really struggle bust. So I agree that pages dedicated to it would be the best play to grow the sport. I'm gonna have a video about growing the sport soon too, where I want to talk about some of those things. Celtic, I'm the redhead you met there. Oh yeah. John, do you believe lightweight generic cores and higher end balls would work as well as regular cores that are advertised? No, I don't think so. Lightweight generic cores are just, if they're going to flare less, they're just going to be worse in a lot of ways. They're going to be a little too weak. LV, none of us content creators can keep up with you. That's the funny part. Well, that was kind of the thing. And that's the other tough thing is content creation is one of the hardest things to do because you have to be very consistent and you have to post a lot. Like, and you have to be on top of things. Like, I've probably put in 40 hours a week to content creation for the last 2 years, which is insane. And I don't recommend it to anybody, but no one has tried it before me, where in other areas, a lot of people have dove that deep and have been that crazy. Where bowling really hasn't. But a lot of the guys who have the time, the professionals, the guys who like they make their content creation while on the clock, they do their content creation. They haven't really taken it that extra step. Usually it's those guys that go a little bit further and they just never did. Like pro shop guys, for example, there weren't really many pro shop guys that tried really pushing it off into the next level. And I understand it's like most sane people can't put out, 2 videos a day. It's insane. And I agree. This last 2 years, I have some updates coming soon, but the last 2 years have been tough. Um, you have to skip a lot of stuff for content. Gary Bryant, what's going on, man? About the concept. What other 2 balls would be best in typical house shot and sports shot? Thanks. Congrats on the new sponsor. Thank you so much, man. Good to see you, man. You bought a concept. What would be good in a typical house shot and a sports shot? I would recommend like a middle of the road solid ball. Phase 2 is always the GOAT. GB5, Primal Ghost might be a little weak. GB5, stealth mode, solid, things like that. Then I would go some kind of shiny ball, bigger shiny ball. Asim Pearl, I think would be a good option. Viking, Equinox, Black Widow Mania. If you want something super strong, go with like a full effect. It's a shiny hybrid, so a lot of options. Sea Lance, I'm kind of tempted to bowl the tat, but wrong continent. That's the hard thing. A lot of overseas guy bowled the tat. A lot of overseas guys. I heard a lot of different languages while I was out there last year, which is really cool, but they make it more of a lot of guys overseas because it's so expensive. They have to make it a vacation. They just have to. No other way to do it. Thanks for also answering my questions. Absolutely, Aaron. Black and yellow. Thane ban is only about money. Resin sells more. No, it's not. It's not even close about money, man. Sorry. That's one of the bigger misconceptions with the urethane stuff is that it's money filled, and it's not. Like, there aren't going to be more bowling balls that come out because of urethane. Like, it's just not the case. Urethane sells well, very well. So if you take it out of play, those sales just probably go over to a resin ball, and it doesn't really boost sales that much. So there's nothing money about it at all. Talon, did someone say urethane? The guy I don't think who has a urethane. JR, we're definitely trying, not a ton of views. No, that's the problem. So I was doing that last year or 2 years ago. No, it was last year. Last year I tried putting out updates for every PBA event and nobody watches them. Which is tough. So you got to find what people actually want to watch. So you kind of have to give every now and then like updates on it. Like I made a US Open video and that did fairly okay because people like hearing about plastic and major tournaments like that. So I know that's one of the toughest things. I ran into the same thing where I found it with my PWBA videos. Nobody watched them, which was really unfortunate. So I'm going to try new things with the PWBA this year. I got to contact someone at USBC for that too. I kind of want to go to a few events and make some content for them because I think that's one area that they could get some help in. So yeah, a lot of stuff there. Next sponsor, Monster C4. Jaybird, why did you buy the Black Widow Tour V1? So the reason you're not supposed to buy bowling balls is I like the Effect Tour, and I thought I would like to try something like it. That's it. That's the only thing that went through my tiny brain was, that might be good for me. That's it. So not a great reason. Mike, tough 2-year update coming without spoiling your announcement. Please say you're not going away. Oh yeah, no. No, you're getting more of me, guys. You're getting so much more of me. No, I'm not going anywhere. It's been a rough 2 years just in terms of like, I put in a lot of time, but there are some cool things coming, which are going to be, I think, fun for all of us. Fun for all of us. Tattooed French Fry, do you need a good reason to buy a new bowling ball? No, you do not at all. So that's kind of the reason. I've been eyeing the Black Widow Tour for months since it came out, but I never got myself to pull the trigger because I've had a shiny Rockstar that fits that part of the bag. But now that I'm not bringing my shiny Rockstar to as much stuff, I want to try it out. I want to test it and see if that's better for me. Let's see. Jeremy, almost a week in nationals. Any thoughts on how the division changes may impact scoring? I don't think it will. I think the oil patterns and the location affect the scoring more than a slight tweak to the division changes. So I don't think we're going to see a big difference. Tyran, I watch all that stuff. Love it. Existence. The other day I saw Joe Bart playing PBA 26 and couldn't beat the first match. I don't know who that is. Joe Bart? No, not you. I don't know who you are. Oh, it is. It's Bartolozzi. Oh, he's a YouTuber. Oh, 163,000 subs. Sick. Nice. That's awesome. Aaron, speaking in plastics, I was watching a lot of the Brad and Kyle vlogs. I was surprised why they were throwing that because of the urethane ban. Yeah. So at the US Open, they put out it was such a short pattern on such a high friction center where plastic was the best play for control. Now, the reason isn't that it was the best option. It was a really good option, but there were probably better options. The reason was these guys have really been trained that hard pattern, you play straight with control stuff and you're going to whack it. And that's what they did. They killed it. So that's one of the big reasons. All right. We are about, oh, wow, we're already at 7:15. Quick reminder, if you haven't, make sure to go drop a subscription or a follow on whatever platform you're on. Best way to help support the channel. Really appreciate it if you do. If you are new here, make sure to go check out some of our sponsors. We have bowling.com and G Fuel up there. If you buy anything from bowling.com, it's the best place on the internet to buy any bowling products like a Next Factor for $130 right now. make sure to say ZVL sent you in the comments. The best way to help support the channel. G Fuel, you can actually get G Fuel for 30% off right now with code ZVL Bowling. And then Turbo, massive sponsor of the channel. I actually have that on too. Really love Turbo and what they're doing. We're gonna have a lot of videos with Turbo coming soon. Otherwise, we have Bowlers Network. Make sure to go check them out on all social medias. I have a daily show actually with Carolyn Doran Ballard and Jay Fettig, the CEO over there, where we talk everything bowling. I was actually talking to Carolyn right before this, helping her with some cool things that are coming her way soon that we'll be able to talk about. And then I'm gonna go just so quick. And then also Spareware. Make sure to go check them out. 10% off with code ZVL Bowling. Bowling Nerd. We have a TikTok celebrity in the chat and Bradley Open Casher. Everybody, look out. Congratulations on you bowled well at the Bradley. It was fun to watch, man. Turbo is the best 3-ball rollers. Dude, I know I already hit him up like, hey guys, how much for some bags? Because I currently have storm bags and they kind of suck. I got to be honest. The wheels, I can't keep the thing straight. So I got to buy some turbo ones. Very, very soon. Very, very soon. All right. Unheard. I have an OG effect, and I really don't like how weak and forward rolling it is. So I'm guessing, I'll get to Bowling Nerd's comment in a second. So it's probably hooking too early, which is why it's rolling forward. So you're going to like stuff that hooks a little bit later. You're going to like a symmetrical ball a little bit more in that case, Unheard. I don't know about bowled well. I made spares. That's what the Bradley is. I mean, there weren't many PBA guys, which was good. And then, yeah, just make more spares than the guy next to you is what that tournament is. I couldn't believe how chalky your bowling balls were. You hit those things with parking lot grit. Those things were dusty. Crazy white dude. C300 Pulse Hybrid is sold out. There were only 67. That's how many there were. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, there were not many of those guys. Will I be picking up a full effect? I will not be picking up a full effect. So I mentioned it in my important updates video. I do not get any bowling balls from any of the companies. I have talked to all three, and that will unfortunately not be happening anytime soon. So they're kind of locking down a few of their things. So I will not be throwing most of the new bowling balls that come out. A lot of my purchases are now going to have to be focused on what I need to be a better bowler. And for some of the fun ones, you know, like the pyramid ball, the swag ball, the KR ball. Like I'll still buy some of the wonky ones for videos, but a lot of the purchases I make with bowling balls, unfortunately, will have to be like what matches for me well and what's going to be good for me. So that's going to be one of the biggest issues. Make sure to go hit up the ball companies and say, hey, send ZVL stuff. No, that's mean. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I unfortunately will not be a Charles Hutcherson and reviewing every ball that's out there. Just not in the cards for the ZVL Bowling channel. Instead, in the cards, we have a lot of other really cool things coming. So make sure to stay tuned. A lot of other cool ones. Bowling Nerd, how many bowling ball purchases per month? Like 1, maybe 2. So I probably drill 2 bowling balls a month is usually what it comes down to. Sometimes 3 is what I go for. So like I just picked up a Next Factor. I had a Black Widow Tour sitting here for a while. Before that, I had the Concept, which was probably about a month, 5 weeks ago now. Before that was I'm trying to see what other bowling balls I haven't. The Evoke Mayhem, that was a week and a half before the Concept. Zero Mercy Solid, that one was a used one though. So I get a couple used balls that I try to use, and I actually buy a lot of used balls online for testing purposes. So that happens quite a bit. But no, otherwise it is not a crazy amount. Not the crazy amount. 300 Dreaming, how did the Widow V1 compare to the Effect Tour? So I haven't been able to throw both of them in the same time, but from everything, the Effect Tour is going to be earlier and a bit smoother where that ball fits. I need a ZVL chamois in radical colors. I do want to come out with a few different ideas for that, for some colorways coming soon. What was that comment? Hold on. Jeremy, but if we sent you a ball, you would review it. Yes, if you sent me a ball, I will review it. I do have a P.O. box that I need to publicize a little bit more, But if you send me a ball, yes, I will review it. If you send me anything, I will check it out on a live stream or a video of some kind. That was my rule when I had the video game account, and I want to keep that one going. I just haven't really publicized it much on the bowling side. Have not done that much. Any top secrets on the CUDA Power Core? Got one from a mystery box. Hybrid one or the Pearl one? The Pearl one I have, I've heard really good things about it, and I threw it, and it's a mediocre Pearl ball. I was very disappointed. I really, really was excited for that Super CUDA Power Core Pearl. I bought it on bowling.com. I was hyped to drill it. I drilled it in a pretty decent spot where like, all right, this is a step down from my amp to my phase 2 Pearl. And it was very touchy. I don't know if it was the surface on it. I might have to resurface it or something, but it reminded me of the Ember so much. And I did not like the Ember after a couple of games, where the Super CUDA, I didn't even like it the first couple games so far. So I got to try it a little bit more, try it on a few more patterns. There just aren't many tournaments coming up, which kind of sucks in Minnesota. So we need a few more tournaments for me to test it out. But if there are, I do want to try it a little more. But otherwise, the hybrid one is very slow and just middle of the road for medium smooth stuff. Pearl one, I need to throw more. It sounded really good for a lot of people. For me, it just wasn't up to snuff. Marino, what's going on Facebook? How you doing? Existence, Brandon Bontas 300, genuinely near level of the Bam 83-point game. Oh, I loved Bam's 83-point game, man. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Aaron, Brian, what's going on? Just made it in. Love to see it. Let's see. Peter, where about mine? Mike, for those of you looking at the Tour V1 or Effect Tour, don't sleep on the Gremlin Tour X. Yeah, Gremlin Tour X is going to be probably a touch weaker than both of those balls, but it is going to be very similar to the Black Widow Tour. It's going to be a little bit weaker, but otherwise fairly close. Otherwise fairly close. Pan one-handers. I'm 17 miles an hour, 425 rev rate. Yeah, rev dominant for sure. Mike, I have a hammer raw, looking to pick up a phase 2. What Black Widow would you pair with those two? I would go Black Widow Mania. I think the other Black Widows, it just gives you too many solid bowling balls. So I think a Black Widow Mania would fit a little better for a 1-2-3 arsenal. Jeremy Hatcher, what's the best 3-ball roller for the airplane? So I have used the Storm ones in the airports, and they were fine. I used, what did I have before that? Oh, I had Motive ones. Those are pretty high quality, but they're a little pricier. The turbo ones I've heard really good things about because they have bigger wheels. Also with the KR Strike Force ones, they have bigger wheels as well. So you always want to go with the wheels are the important thing. That's what airports destroy. As long as you like close your bag, that's okay. But it's the wheels that get destroyed. That's what gets screwed up the most. Yeah, and actually Norgan hits that well too. He says, love my wheels on the KRs. Dude, KR does some really good stuff. Dasher, I fell off and scraped my knees. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That really sucks. JR was 300 pulse hybrids. Okay, how many did you store, Sparks? How many do you have in the pro shop right now? Are you like sitting on your pile of pulse hybrids right now? Are you just like, did you just make like a throne out of them or something? That's what I'm very much expecting right now. Like you have like an all white and red cane that you're carrying and like an all white and red like Burger King crown or something, and you're just sitting on pulse hybrid boxes. Jeffrey, X Strike bowling bags. I don't know who they are. That might be an overseas company. Hubert, left foot on 35, right foot on 30. Eye staring 15 to 20, two-handed righty, Equinox Pearl. I keep striking Brooklyns. Any tips? So always remember, if you're hooking too much, you got to move deeper on the lane. So for you, you're a righty, you got to move left. The Equinox Pearl might be too much ball, might be too strong for you. Your ball speed might be a little low. So that's always the big one, especially if you're a two-hander. You just might have too low of ball speed, so you got to try to amp that ball speed up. That's one of the biggest ones in bowling right now. The last couple of years, the biggest thing I'm seeing is so many people are highly rev dominant, not just rev dominant, but highly rev dominant. So if that's the problem, you can buy a new ball to cover it up, but the best thing to do is just try to work on improving that ball speed. Try to increase that ball speed. And not by forcing the ball, not by trying to throw the ball harder, trying to boost your foot speed. So if your footwork right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got to bump it up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it's just got to be quicker. That's going to boost your ball speed a bit. Jeremy, if we sent a ball, you would review it. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that's terrifying. I'm gonna get, like, the hit it harder ball or something showing up in my PO box. That ball might be good, I have no idea. It's so I am so tinfoil hat about bowling balls right now and bowling ball reviews, a lot because of the swag stuff. It's so hard. Like, yeah, Bowling Nerd actually checked it out, which was, I think, the best review of that ball yet. Actually seeing it and hearing someone who's like, "This is how it is." I think that was really cool. 762 and made some money. Ooh, there you go. Oh, league where you can make some money. That's sick. We tried brackets in our league once. It didn't work. I had to try running them, and I was like, "Nah, this is stupid." But that's sick. No, that's the good things that I want to hear. Brackets and high game. Yeah, 762 should probably win it once in a while. I would assume. Also, it's the one over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. And OG Chapel. Really appreciate it, guys. Sorry, I didn't see those. Twitch stuff isn't showing up as much, unfortunately. Existence. I'm gonna have to hit that one quick. Thoughts on the Elite brand? I see their balls on bowling.com. They're a very cheap brand. I would avoid it. It's kind of like Pyramid. I see Pyramid and Elite being pretty similar. It's just yeah, nothing crazy. How long will the code work? So what bowling.com does, they have their own just set generic coupon codes. So you can get 5% or 15% or 5% or 10% off of certain things. So I don't have a code per se. So I just throw in that ZVL sent you in the comments and you can use their codes that they have. Like I said, it'll get you like 5% off, 10% off, or 15% off, I think, depending on how much you order. So keep that in mind. Oh, the code is for G Fuel. Yeah, the code's G Fuel. So if you use ZVL Bowling on G Fuel, you'll get 30% off for anything. So I got to actually use my own code after this to pick up more G Fuel. I got to try a few of their new flavors. There was a sick flavor I saw. I forget what it was. Let's see. I don't do any of their like powders. I'm not a big fan of mixing your own energy drinks because I'm lazy. I'm a very lazy man where I just want to pop can open and move on with my day. Was it the Dream Demon? No. Orange creamsicle didn't sound bad. Strawberry blueberry medley sounded sick. Berry bomb cans sounded pretty cool. And dragon fruit. Dragon fruit sounds kind of sick in my opinion. I like the taste of dragon fruit, so I'd be curious. What's your opinion on the full effect? Full effect looks really good. I would expect the full effect to be a pretty popular ball because it does what the effect did, but it makes it a little bit stronger and a little bit quicker down lane. That's really where that ball excels. So I think we're going to see a lot of it if it didn't get overshadowed by the purple. It's going well right now on the PBA Tour. So if it shows up on some TV shows, I think you'll see a lot of full effects. Overall, I think it looks really good. It's strong, but it's also quick, which is a weird combo, but Brunswick's making a lot of those lately. Ringing 10, what is going on? Can we get you in the announcing booth more regularly? You were great on Inside Bowling. Thank you. Appreciate that. I have a couple things in the works. I am going to be commentating a small Golf and Bowl event coming up in late July, but otherwise I have no plans. But I am open for anybody that wants me to do commentary. Like, I am 100% in. Tell me when, tell me where, and I'm in. PBA, World Series of Bowling, is coming here very soon. Just Flanagan, hit me up. Otherwise, Junior Gold is coming up. I'd be in. I've really liked commentating so far. I had a blast with Flanagan. I had a great time. Now that dude's awesome, but I had a really good time with it. So I really hope I get the opportunity to more in the future. It's just something I really can't do myself. I don't have the gear for it. So I need to slowly start collecting the gear to actually do some live streaming at tournaments. But hopefully soon. Hopefully we get more of it. Don Clifton, pyramid balls are strange. They don't appear to get affected by patterns. Yeah, they're odd, but they're just better from straight. That's best with them. Existence, you have a 13-pound Dark Side, Ocean Vibe, Envy Tour, White Dot, and a 14-pound Alert GB5 Pearl. Looking for a stronger ball between the Heckler and the One Ovation because they're both cheap. Yeah, with you having such a high rev rate, I think you're going to like the Heckler better because the Heckler is going to be smoother down lane. And it is going to be even a touch weaker in like core wise, which I think is going to be better. So because of that, I would recommend that ball. All right, let's see. Brendan Shepard, we hit the full effect rec. Pitch black or new purple. I would, if you're choosing between the new 78 one and a pitch black, go pitch black. I would avoid a 78 hardness bowling ball unless you're bowling events where you can't use the softer urethane. So I would recommend pitch black or get just an old purple hammer, a soft one. That would be better too. That's why I'm a little worried, honestly, with that. I'm worried with that 78 hardness purple because I think a lot of people are going to buy the wrong urethane because they are identical like looks. That's why I'm a little surprised it got approved just because it's the same colorway, same everything. And most people who are just going to go and buy a urethane, they're going to look up purple hammer. Like if I go to bowling.com right now, I'm kind of curious what comes up if I just look up purple hammer. Yeah, the 78 one comes up. The regular one is a couple spots down. So I'm a little worried people are going to buy the wrong purple hammer. It it seems like something that'll happen because they look the same. They're the same everything, just a little 78 on it. So I hope people don't make the wrong choice. One of my biggest pet peeves is if people willingly try to trick others into buying the wrong stuff. So I really hope that doesn't happen. But I'm terrified. Yeah, the purple has a silver pin, but Joe, who bowls once a week, isn't going to know that. Like, I didn't know there was a silver pin on the purple until I asked people who had it, asking what are the differences between the two looks wise. And the answer is very little. So that's my big concern is people are going to buy the wrong one. So that's why like a lot of the all black bowling balls, sometimes people buy the wrong one because they see it on TV and they're like, they look up all black bowling ball. Old purple has magenta. Yeah, and that's, I mean, Joe, most people are, I couldn't tell you that the old one, I have one and I don't know what the pin color is. Like I have 2 purple hammers and I have no idea what the pin colors are on them because I would say I'm deeper into bowling than most people on the planet. And I don't know the pin color differences. So that is the worry. I think a lot of bowlers, unfortunately, like ignore the fact that like we have most of bowling is new bowlers. Most of bowling is under a 170 average and doesn't bowl a lot. So I think that's a big issue. And I'm a little worried about it. So I really hope I don't get stories saying, hey, I was going to buy a purple hammer for my sports shot league that I'm bowling for the first time. And this one has a 78 on it. What does that mean? I really hope that doesn't happen. But it would not surprise me. Would not surprise me in the slightest. Let's see. Dubbed to Chief, Synthesis or Paragon Solid? Paragon Solid is a little too old, so I'd go Synthesis. A Wood Bay got into bowling a few months ago and really liking it. Currently scouting for my first ball, and I like watching your content. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I really hope I'm here to help. That's my goal is just to help you make the right choices and buy the right bowling balls and get better and enjoy the sport. That's the main reason I'm here. So I'm really glad I've been able to help out a little bit. YGM, I missed your comment earlier. Apologies. Where is a good source to learn how to read oil pattern sheets? So I have one video from, that's a while ago, of how to read an oil sheet or a lane pattern sheet. But the biggest things you need to know are you need 1, the length of the pattern, 2, the volume of the pattern, and 3, the ratio of the pattern. Those are the most important things to reading a sheet because that'll help you most on figuring out what the pattern is actually doing. Existence for your first ball, you should always get a purple hammer. 100% true. No, do not do that. You should not get a purple hammer as your first ball. You are only hurting yourself. And where does the Vex fit in relation to the Heckler? It's weaker and sharper than the Heckler. Definitely weaker and sharper. All right. We are actually caught up on questions for the first time ever. Wow, that's wild. So if you guys are new here, make sure to drop a subscription or a follow. Best way to help support the channel. Otherwise, we did talk a little bit earlier about the HBO series Born to Bowl. This is a series that covers 5 PBA pros. It covers Cameron Crowe, I was going to say Kyle Troop, Anthony Simonson, Jason Belmonte, EJ Tackett, and it covers their 2025 seasons a little bit. So in episode 1, we saw a little bit deeper of a look into Kyle's 2025 US Open. And in the other ones, we're going to see more in-depth looks at some of the other guys. So that releases every week on Mondays, 8 p.m. Central Time on HBO. Otherwise, it is just a regular HBO series, so you can watch it in 6 months if you want. HBO's pushing it pretty hard. The guys who made it are really, really excited about it. A lot of the pros are really excited about it. And if you're a bowling fan, I highly recommend checking it out. Episode 1 was great so far, and I'm really, really excited for episodes 2 through 5. Super, super excited. I haven't watched a series in a while. I will be sitting down on Monday nights for all 5 episodes of this series. This is one I'm sitting down and making. And if you want to get a recap of it, you don't have HBO, you're not able to buy it, whatever it may be, I will be posting recaps on all of my short form platforms. So make sure to go check out Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. I will have just a 2 to 3 minute recap of what all happened. So make sure to go check it out there if you don't have HBO and you don't plan on buying it. Because unfortunately, the streaming services are a little bit pricey. They're, 12 to 20 bucks a month, which is kind of sucky. I didn't realize I had HBO Max before I turned on my TV and it popped up. So I've been wasting money on that. I'll probably be canceling my HBO after that just because I don't have a reason for HBO much. I don't watch anything on there and haven't in a while. So, but for this, I'm definitely keeping it. Let's see. Oh, Mike, I missed this one. Zach, I've been meaning to tell you since I started bowling in August, I've lost 60 pounds. You're helping me love bowling is a big part of that. Hey, I'm really glad to help, man. That's a massive accomplishment. Huge, huge congratulations on that. That is super cool. And you're going to see improvements in your bowling game as well since you've lost that weight. So really, really happy. That is awesome to hear, man. Congratulations. Thank you so much for enjoying the channel, for watching what we do, for getting into bowling. It's been awesome to have you here, man. David Hahn, I finally broke 700 with a 7-11 series. Honestly, Bowling Brand should be sending ZVL a thank you note. I went from buying 1 ball a year to owning 15 more because of this channel. And that isn't even my goal. Like, there's a lot of people out there whose goal is to sell bowling balls. I'm not trying to. My goal is not to sell you balls. I just want you to buy the right balls. So congratulations on the 700. First of all, that is a massive accomplishment. You always remember your first 700. So congratulations on that front. Really excited to see some more 700s out of you as well. Ralphie stepped away. Sorry if it's already answered. Ball up from the GB5 Solid, Hammer Effect Pearl. Synthesis, Equinox Solid, Evil Eye, Jackal Ghost, Jackal Onyx, Zero Mercy Solid if you want a lot of hook. Spartan. All of those balls are going to fit there. Brent, curious to see where you put the new Supra on your all ball category chart. Yeah, I'll be making one for, I want to do one all ball chart every quarter because those take a lot of research to figure out and a lot of asking around. So I should have one coming out in the next month or so. Aaron, one more question for now. I know you're dropping a video tomorrow. What will be the next upcoming content? So I don't have full plans for next week. I have one video recorded and it's going to be what you should buy for your first couple of bowling balls. So it's going to be helpful for people who don't have a ball, who have one ball, who are just getting back into the sport of bowling, or if you're trying to buy a bowling ball for your significant other, for a friend, for a kid, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna have one of those videos coming in collaboration with bowling.com next week. It's gonna have a cool flow chart to it. I'm gonna be making that Friday. I have a good idea for it right now. Otherwise, we are going to have our Storm 6-ball arsenal guide tomorrow. So the best 6 balls you can buy from them. I will have 3 more on the way. I will have a Motive one, a Hammer one, and then a Brunswick Brands one. People like having the Hammer one separately, so that's why I'm separating it. They are made by Brunswick, but I'm including them all into one. So that's going to be a cool one as well. So we have those videos coming soon. Otherwise, I do have my little cheat sheet of all the videos that I'm making soon. That is actually everything I had for that month. I do want to make a video for Junior Gold coming up. I do want to make a cover core guide coming up, and then coaching. I want to do a few coaching-esque videos with some cool announcements coming next week for some coaching. Who knows? Coach Zach might be in session for a very cheap price. I think bowling coaches are way too pricey a lot of the time. Might have some cheaper ways of getting some tips and tricks. Existence. Even though it's like a tiny bit more expensive, I could go a Vex to go with the rest of my arsenal. You could, um, but a Heckler is a heck of a lot cheaper. But you could go a Vex, yeah. David Hahn, watching your videos push me to practice and find the right gear. Hey, absolutely. Always here to help. Always here to help. That is what I am here for. Let's see. Mike, I'm already seeing improvements. Love to hear it. Existence, I almost shot my first 700 on my birthday. Oh, that would have been such a cool story. That would have been the coolest story, man. And Aaron, sounds great. Take care. Have a good night. Absolutely. Always here to help. Glad to have you here, Aaron. Glad to have you. Thank you for hopping in so much. I want to say a big thank you to everybody. I know we get sappy way too much on this channel, but thank you everybody who's hopping in. We have 160-ish people, well, with TikTok, 180-ish people who are hanging out right now on all the platforms. Huge thank you to all of you who are watching it afterwards as well. Remember, if you guys have questions during the week about anything bowling, I answer DMs on every single platform. So just shoot me a DM, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Join our Discord. That's the best way to have access to me quickly. I answer Discord stuff quicker than everywhere else. If you don't want any of those, I have an email address. I do answer emails once every week. So go check us out there. Those are the best ways to just get, if you have a quick question about bowling that you want answered, I don't ask for payment for any of them. Some guys, like, you have to join a membership to actually get questions answered. We don't do that here. We just answer whatever questions you guys have. So if you have questions, please always let me know. Do not hesitate to reach out. I answer a couple hundred DMs a week, so I'm here to help. That's the main reason I'm here. So just want to help you be a better bowler. All right, we got a couple more comments coming in. Ban one-handers first. I have an effect. It sounds weird whenever I say that. I do not condone that username, for the record. I have an effect, a theorem, and an anger solid. Gonna drill a urethane for a sports shot league. What category should I go with next? Also, I have a raw pearl. You have a theorem, an anger solid, and an effect. If you're getting into more sports shot stuff, I'd recommend one more solid ball, probably something above the anger solid that you can control a little bit more. So that could be like a GB5 solid, or a hammerhead might be a little too weak. Stealth mode might be really good for you, man. That might be the play. Ooh, I just talked way too loud there. My throat hurt. There we go. Wayne, I have an idea for an end of year contest. Guess the amount of ball releases for the next year. Both total amount of all and specific guesses for all of them. Oh, that'd be awesome. No, that's a long, I need to do a few more giveaways of things. I just don't have, like, I'm not being donated things to give away. I am once in a while, but I need to do more giveaways for you guys. So bored. Thank you for your awesomes. 2830. Is that Justin? Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you so much for the 30 coins. Love that. But yeah, I want to do more giveaways coming soon. I know you guys really like the Storm one with the Vengeance. So, and there were issues with that one, unfortunately. There was a lot of back order. Storm has a lot of stuff on back order right now. But it will be coming. How do you compare the two versions of the Combat? So the Combat Hybrid is a heck of a lot earlier and smoother than the Combat Pearl. So the Combat Hybrid is a strong and smooth ball. Combat Pearl is going to be strong and sharp. Joe, oh boy. So now that we're slowing down, steal any good content lately? I hear there's a good podcast. Oh boy. For anyone who doesn't know, that's a long running joke. I was called out by a certain other content creator probably a year and a half ago for stealing content. So that became a running joke on the channel, is that I steal content. Oh, he's got to be kicking his little chair right now. Oh, that's funny. Tyran, we only make fun of the torpedo direct hit around here. We do make fun of that. RJ, ion topic. McEwen drilled her ions pinned down to the low revs and speed. Is that the case for all bowling moving forward for me? Sometimes. That's a hard question. Pin down is a tough one. Pin down is always, it's not the best choice. Now, Danielle is a professional. She is a PWBA pro who's drilled a trillion bowling balls and knows what layouts work for her. If you've never used one, I would recommend trying one ball pin down if you really want to, but don't do multiple. See how it rolls for you. Pin down can be tough because it's going to push the reaction further down lane and be a lot smoother. So it's usually better for those more rev dominant guys. And Danielle she is a little more rev dominant and she has a stronger ball roll. So it makes sense, especially for her to stay a little straighter. Being on the women's tour, she does like to keep her angles a little straighter, especially with her rev rate. So I could see that being good, but I don't recommend pin down a lot for a lot of other people. Now the pros, they can do whatever. Born to Bowl is a cringe fest. Not even close, man. What? Not even close, brother. Born to Bowl has actually been really good. Been fantastic so far. That just sounds like the old man. This is gonna sound mean. That sounds like my Facebook comment section in some ways. My Facebook comment section gets very upset about a lot of stuff, even if there's no reason to get upset for it. And Born to Bowl is overall a positive for bowling. It's cool. We get to see an inside look on a lot of the players that we will never see otherwise. Would you say that's a good thing? Oh, that's interesting. I gotta read that. But no, Born to Bowl has been great so far. It's been awesome. Let's see. Tyran, hold on for a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. So it is early in the year, but the Transformer and Bionic seem to be tearing it up. If I had to choose a ball of the year for 2026 right now, one, it's way too early for ball of the year, for the record. Just do not take this. Do not take this like take it with a grain of salt is what I'm trying to say. Bionic would be number one, hands down. Bionic is the number one ball of the year right now, by far. Otherwise, I would go. Let me look. Let me look at what bowling balls have come out this year. Motive, none of them. I'm sorry, Motive. None of yours are winning ball of the year. You've only had like 3 balls released, but they're all good. But they're all, well, 2 are good. One is the Apex Jackal. 2026, we had, oh yeah, Deep Impact is not making that list. Rumors say that ball is already discontinued. I'm kidding. Combat Hybrid is good, but not ball of the year. What the hell came out? Let me look at my YouTube. That's going to be the best way for me to find out. Concept's good. I don't think it deserves a ball of the year. Call of Duty streaming. Wow, people are really liking my urethane video. That's terrifying. It has more dislikes than my last 4 videos combined. We had the bowling ball's gone. Not that one. Oh, we had the Piranha. The Crown Victory is really good. Crown Victory Pearl is great. Ion Max Pearl is really good. Gremlin Tour looks good, but we just haven't seen enough of it. Deep Impact is a bowling ball that exists. Yeah, I would say right now Bionic is ball of the year by far. And then I think Transformer might be number 2. Transformer is going to be close. Oh, Zero Mercy Solid came out in December. So that was 2025. So if we are counting like how we do it for ball of the year, what we're going to do in November, then yeah, Zero Mercy Solid is going to be up there as well. That's going to be high on that list as well. Alert was last year. Alert was like November or October. Yeah, Zero Mercy Solid. We had a lot. Yeah. Oh, it's way too early right now. 100%. I think the Vexed will be up there. It's just that one is a little early because we see so little of the radical stuff. And that is just a problem. I mean, it's just a not popular company in a lot of ways. And I say that with respect. It's like Columbia was. It just doesn't get the views. So people just don't reference it in videos. They just don't have somebody who actually promotes the products that much. Like when Brunswick releases stuff, everybody reviews the hammer stuff. And then they'll go and review, if it's Brunswick, they'll do Brunswick first. If it's hammer, they'll do hammer first. And then they'll get to like track. And then they'll get to like ebonite. And then they'll get to like someone else, and then they get to radical, and then they get to deviate, and then Columbia. It's like there's kind of a stepping stone of views. And I notice it with my own videos. Like today I released a Double Trouble preview, and it's going to get no views. Just like my, the GB5 Hybrid got 0 views on my stuff, which was crazy. So the Vexed is kind of similar. Even though the Evil Eye was good, with the Vexed not being an Evil Eye in a lot of ways, a lot of the guys who bought the Evil Eye don't care about it because it's too close, because they just said it's an Evil Eye, but better. And it's tough. So Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the Vexed is going to be on there solely because we're not going to see enough of it. It looks like a great ball, but we're just not going to see enough of it. That was what my TLDR is. And this is when we cue Phil getting upset in the comments. I post bowling videos as they don't get views like they used to. Yeah, and it depends on the view. Bowling content is tough because a lot of brands and a lot of types of content just don't get views. Like people just don't care. You got to find what actually works, which is kind of tough. So that's why you see everybody doing the live commentary for reviews. I think live commentary is worse for ball reviews because you learn less about the ball, but people would rather watch live comms compared to sit back, talk about the ball, which I hate because I don't think you can give a good idea for a bowling ball while throwing it. I think you do afterwards when you think about it and watch the videos more, you get a better idea, but people would rather see the live commentary, which is weird. But each their own. It's what viewers want. It's hard to change. It's hard to flip that. I tried, I failed. Should do ball of the quarter. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Zero Mercy seems smoother than advertised. I saw it going down the lane. Oh, it's sharper than advertised, actually. I mean, it's the earliest hooking ball on the market. So it should be smooth, but it's angular. It's a little quick, which is weird. I got to throw mine a little bit more, though. Brian got a notification from Ryan that my spare wear shirt to match my blue has been dropped and shipped. Ooh, love that. We love a Ryan message. We love a Ryan message. Tyler, what is the best replacement for the original effect? That is going to be, honestly, I think a full effect is going to be the best option if you like your effect. If you don't like your effect, I would recommend Black Widow Mania. I think has to be the play. I think it has to be Black Widow Mania or the Combat. The Combat's pretty close as well. I think the Combat's better, but a lot of other people see otherwise. Mr. Phil, what's going on, Mr. Phil? I sold my old Phase 2 due to a new PAP, and he recommended the Bionic. Isn't the Bionic stronger and earlier? No, the Bionic's going to be weaker and quicker. Going to be sharper than a Phase 2, especially a new one. Tropical Groovy Smoothie. I love that name. Tropical Groovy Smoothie. That's sick, bro. I just bought my first strike ball, which is the Phase 2. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Tori Casey, GB line gets disrespected so hard. Dude, the GB line should be one of the best-selling lines. Okay, we're doing our usual search because I like to be upsetting to people, and that's apparently just what we do. But we're going to look up Ebonite GB5 hybrid. 4,000 views, that's it? 4,000 views, that's it? Holy cow. 2,000 views, 5.8 thousand. 4,000. 700 views from those guys. Okay, those guys are jerks though, so it makes sense. 6,000 from Ebonite. 5,000. 3,000. Oh, that's not even the same video. That's it. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, nobody cares. And hybrids generally get less views also. It's a fun fact. Hybrids get less views and they get less sales. Like if you have a solid, a pearl, and you come out with a hybrid, it generally does worse, which is crazy. So weird. Brennan, I was thinking about getting a ball for fresh oil, Ion Max Pearl. Do I need that ball if I have a hyperdrive pearl? Yeah, there is a big difference between the two, so that's okay. There is a pretty big difference between the Ion Max Pearl and the hyperdrive pearl. The Ion Max Pearl is a lot earlier and smoother. Tyran, no one would watch my live commentary. Folks would learn how to swear in 5 languages. That's impressive if you can do that. Existence, Luke does both, show shots and talks not at the bowling. Yeah, he started to do both because he's kind of playing with the idea. Because he used to be only post commentary, but he's tried to do a lot more live commentary to see what works. And I did see in his Purple Hammer video that he released, not his, I think his last Purple Hammer video, he did only live com and cut it up a little bit. So I'll be interested. Existence, I think you could do well in the PBA if you threw the direct hit, but they banned it because it was too good. For the record, the direct hit is allowed in PBA competition. Just throwing that out there. It is allowed. It is not allowed in USBC competition. It is allowed in PBA competition. So it's allowed at every tournament minus the Open and the Masters. But the ball isn't a ball that any pro will ever throw. Although I will admit, Packy did the best job ever at promoting that ball. Those guys I think they deserve each some money for how many sales they got from their one direct hit video. Jaber, do you plan on updating the balance, rev, speed, arsenal build? Yes, that is on the docket. Existence, we hit Tory. Hybrids are my favorite, followed by solids. Yeah, no, it's it's unfortunate. Like I think the GB5 hybrid, it's a ball I'm actually eyeing up. I did see it dropped in price, and I did it with the Spartan as well, where I bought it to try to promote it, to showcase like, hey, Hammer is not the only good brand for the Brunswick brands. They aren't the only ones that make bowling balls. The other ones do a really good job. So I don't know if that does well or not. I think I'm bringing the Spartan tomorrow. The Spartan is getting a little more love than I expected, which is good. I think it's a good ball when shiny. I think it's terrible when dull. Let's see. All right, it is 7:57. We're going to do a last call for questions now. We're going to do a last call for any and all questions. Ouch, hiccups, ouch. Fox, thank you so much for all the flowers. Appreciate it. But we're going to do one last call. We're going to hit a couple more questions, and we are going to go on our merry ways tonight. So let's see what we all have. Oh, don't tell me I have the hiccups. No, we're good. Whew, that would have been bad. Mixtape, getting back in after 10 years. Best Pearl ASIM for a tweener for all 3 games. Just for league house shots. 195 lefty, settling on the Hysteria. Hysteria is a great option. I think the Hysteria is one of the best in the game right now. And Antonio with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Antonio. Ordered a Hustle Earth per your recommendation. Hope it works well. And thank you for the videos. Always find something useful. Thank you so much for watching, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for hopping in. Really, really like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really hope you like the Hustle Earth as well. It's a good ball. 300 Dreaming. Can you compare the Dynasty and the Zero Mercy Pearl? They're night and day different. The Dynasty is way earlier and way smoother. Brian, I found since you have got me into researching and trying all sorts of different balls that hybrids work really well. So hybrids kind of, it's always dull or shiny for where they kind of fit. So it's fair. There's a lot of good hybrids out right now, though. Bionic is sick. GB5 hybrid looks good right now. Origin was really good for a while. What are some other good hybrids that are out right now? There are some good ones. Black Widow Tour. Full Effect is a hybrid. Motive doesn't really believe in hybrids that much. Max Thrill hybrid, though, a lot of people like. There's a lot of good hybrids, is what I'm trying to say. My favorite Luke video right now is the newer one, how to deal with urethane carry down. His live com cracked me up. Ooh, I did see he posted it. I didn't watch it yet, though. That was right before I went live here. I had to help Carolyn Dorn Ballard with some YouTube questions, so I wasn't able to check him out. And Tyran with another $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much. Time to add one ball to my two-handed bag. Currently an IQ 2 or solid, which I hit a 185 with on day 4. What's the next ball up? Ooh, good question. Rockstar is a good one. Phase 2, Vengeance. You could go Bionic is going to be a ball up as well. Any of those are going to be good. Jason, just watch episode 1. Now I find out Cam Crow was arrested. Yeah, we'll hit that quick. Cam Crow was arrested for drug possession. He was arrested day 3 of the US Open. He got pulled over because he had expired tabs by 2 years. And he also had like plastic covering his license plate, like a plastic cover or something. And then he had one substance on the passenger seat. So the cop did a full search of his car and then found another. So it's not a big thing by any means, but he is, unfortunately, the court date is only in August. So he will not be bowling the PBA Tour for the rest of the season is what people are thinking right now. So very unfortunate situation. Yeah, that is where that's at. And then Blake with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Just bought a Bionic and I love it. Fits perfectly between my Vengeance and Phase 2 Pearl. Bought one for my grandpa and more. Both their averages jumped. Did you say 80 pins? Brian or Blake? Sorry, Blake. 80 pins? 80? Really? That'd be insane. Like, please confirm if that was a typo or not. God, I hope that's not a typo. That'd be crazy. To Joe, I'm asking you to speculate. Why do you think the Full Effect is hybrid when the Max already is? So Brunswick, when they make stuff, they try to have it fit spots. And usually what I noticed with their big ASIMs, they really lean towards hybrids. I think they usually find that maybe the Pearl, because they test ton of different covers with cores. So I'm guessing in their testing, what they found is maybe this is a speculation, by the way, that the full effect as a pearl was too long and quick. So they went with the hybrid. And with the max effect, they probably found that the solid was too early and slow. So they made it a hybrid. I'm guessing that's why, just to try to like match the cover with the core tech. So that's my guess. Brennan, do you think I should get the Ion Max Pearl or wait for Roto Grip? I don't think we're going to have a Roto Grip ball Pearl come out that strong in a while. I think what Roto Grip will probably do is replace the RST Hyperdrive with a new big strong ball, and then 6 months later, we'll see a Pearl version. 300, the Combat is smoother than the Pearl. Yes, Combat Hybrid is smoother than the Pearl. Submarine Mike, the Gremlin Tour is a hybrid. Yep. Tyran, happy, has an excuse to buy a Bionic. Oh, love that. Blake, it was a joke, but the ball looked great. Okay. Whew, thank God. I was going to say, if you actually could send me definite proof that their averages went up by 80, I will make sure Storm gets that. Like, that would be that would be crazy. And it's mix or MIM motive ripcord. That's going to be medium sharp. Mika, speed dominant. Do you think the Black Widow Mania would be good? I think so, if you need something a little longer and quicker. Would you make a video about ball maintenance? Yeah, I could probably put that on the docket as well. Any advice for a two-handed righty backup bowler? Always keep your speed high. The big thing with a backup bowler, especially two-handed, is your ball speed's a little bit low generally is how it goes. So make sure your ball speed's high, and otherwise make sure your pitches are right so you're not hurting your fingers. That's a common one with backup too. A lot of people hurt their fingers and wrists doing it. So make sure that you don't have any pain or anything. Existence as a guy who really only throws Brunswick. Now B6, yes. John, I have a Hammer Dark Web hybrid. Would you suggest a Black Widow 2 or V1? 100%. I think that's the perfect replacement. George, the irony of Cam scraping the ice off his windshield to reveal his expired registration. Anybody else see that? Yeah, they did showcase that on accident. Like, it wasn't on accident or anything, but yeah, kind of fits. Blake, yeah, we hit. TJ, what would be the equivalent to the Scorpion Strike? Hammerhead Pearl. Hammerhead Pearl is the perfect replacement. 300, the Alert seems to be selling like crazy. I see a bunch. Yeah. Oh, the Alert is incredible. Yeah, the Alert's an awesome ball. I think it's one of the top 4 balls that Brunswick makes right now. I think is the Alert. It's incredible. And if I didn't have an Ion Pro and a Scorpion Low Flare in the closet right now, I would definitely buy an Alert, but I will not. Tyran, Storm would have that as their next Bionic promo. Oh, 100% they would. Existence, the Alert is the greatest ball of all time. That's a little bit of a stretch. And Joe, I have an Equinox Solid, UFO, Alert, Bionic, Next Factor, Ion Pro Solid, and a Concept. Holy cow. Okay, honestly, with you having that many bowling balls with gaps, I am seeing a shiny ball above the Next Factor. Rockstar Amped, Phase 2 Pearl, even a Equinox might be a little strong. I'd go with one of those. RST Hyperdrive Pearl. I think that would fit a little better. And finally, D, would the Crown Vic Pearl be good for someone recently switching to two-handed? I don't think so. I think it's going to be too angular for you. I would stay with smoother stuff. Generally, two-handed bowlers like the smoother equipment. One-handed bowlers like the more angular stuff. Joe, does UFO Alert not fit that? UFO Alert is a weird, like, strong and shiny ball, but it's a little bit smoother. So that's where, like, a step below would be Phase 2 Pearl Rockstar Amped. Mim, Ripcord. Yeah, I just hit that one, Mim. Ripcord Falls, medium sharp. Joey, you said you used the Spartan Shiny. What does that mean? So I added polish to the ball. So I brought it to 500 grit and then polished the ball to get it to hook further down lane to be better for a house shot. And that is exactly what it is. It's a great house shot ball. Existence, our final one of the day. Summary of the stream. Everyone should buy a purple 78U and the Vexed will sell really well. I never said those phrases. On that note, we are going to be calling that a stream. We're a little bit after 8 o'clock. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching today. Make sure to hit the subscribe or the follow button on the way out so this is not the last time that we see each other. I go live every single Wednesday on all the platforms at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure to come check us out every single week. We have always new topics because the bowling world always has things going on. If you are interested, we do have a lot of videos coming out in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, we have our best 6-ball arsenal from Storm Bowling. They have about 30 balls out right now. I'm going to narrow it down to give you guys the best options in every single category. And we will be doing that with every single brand as well. So we have a lot of cool stuff coming. Make sure to do that. Remember all of our sponsors. Big thank you to those guys. Bowling.com, always helping us out. Go say ZVL sent you if you buy anything from them. Best place to buy bowling stuff on the internet. Thank you to Turbo Products for the custom quarter zip, and also for being a partner for the channel. Make sure to go check out some Turbo Products. They have a lot of really cool things. I have some reviews of their stuff coming soon. G Fuel, 30% off using code ZVL Bowling. Spareware, 10% off with code ZVL Bowling. With any bowling apparel, any jerseys that you want, Apparel EFX, 10% off with ZVL at checkout. Incredible people over there. Great jerseys, best jerseys on the market. Otherwise, Bowlers Network as well. Huge thank you to those guys. Go check out our daily show so that we can, where I hang out with Carolyn Dorn Ballard and Jay Fetting and talk everything bowling. Huge thank you to you guys for watching today. I really appreciate it. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. Thank you so much for watching today, TikTok. I will see you all on the next one. Whew, that was a mouthful. All right. And then otherwise, everyone on the long form stuff, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. We have a couple categorization guides. We have a lot of really cool things. So make sure to stay tuned for the next couple of weeks, months, years, whatever it may be. I'm not going anywhere. Major announcement coming next Wednesday. So make sure to stay tuned. Set a bookmark, set a reminder, set a notey, whatever it may be. But we are going to go to a stream ending page. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Go watch Born to Bowl, and I will see you all on the next one.